Catch you intrepid. I'm telling you, the wishbone been broken. My favorite crumb cake, your mistake. Enterprise is the indelible, the #1 feel bad crew of the season. Just give me one reason to splash, lost another flag, half mast, take down the wallow. Company flow, the toughest penis, sucky, sucky. So of course, in an attempt to defend, you end up on camp. Plus, this agent get orange. ELPFCF rock. First cousin asleep, red dye, #5 be the potion. Either subterranean, or from Gem of Fate like stop motion. Best to get Aka Nicholas. Her mass on intangible. Auto man versus manimal. We answer to no one, we 911. Silent alarm, this is harm, fear the duck alerted. LP phase through these walls like vision. Choked in the shallow water, a bad executive decision. Release the Kraken, please, put down your skin flutes. How could you motherfuckers think ya? To this mercenary sunblock 2000 burner. All of your knowledge is truant. Unlearn all of the shit, then in over time you become fluent. Set a fucking store. At the opposite end of the spectrum, your career's never no more. Enter the rectum, and at twilight will skip stones and laugh about your poems. But a blood red book where the others got fun crust is a spot. The terror fabulously gets Sacco Flomasi. Walt Disney meets Kaiser Sauce. There will be no grand comebacks unless Lazarus the Cotter. Inflicted bitch styles indicate with stigmata. When locked in a box, but you can't say jack. Trying to paint them fucking red doors black. Like that spilled milk spoils. While Ted Turner and Bill Gates rub each other down with olive oils. Company flow, fuck please. Put away the fucking piteous punchlines. Blue blockers break under the red light, belittled by my designs. I don't try to be different, I am. So inevitably my style will survive when your now turns to that. LP, vastly crapophobic. 3, 2, 1 contact, never no more, that's the promise. You hold toast, but I hold Thomas. Golden nooks and crannies. Win more ticket raffled off the recycled thought shopping spree winner. Congratulations, I dropped it, now you got it. But it's only a matter of time before Waldo gets spotted. Pulled out of the crowd and martyred. A good old fashioned stoning, my children. The professional is like the fucking until. For now, you can't get run at night. Curfews is issued in the daylight. Until, for now, you can't get run at night. Curfews is issued in the daylight. Population control. Now, you can't get run at night. Curfews is issued in the daylight.
Mike Goblin, even unannounced, we rip shit up. The 2 franchise players that make your whole squad look what? Who brought the March Madness competition till October? Got you thinking that shit became a little bit harder. These niggas is fucking soldiers, indelible mercenaries. That's why ball niggas be on the nutsack. For the murderous intellect, highly infectious on contact. You need to come quicker than that to snack the cheddar from the mouse trap, small timer. It takes crazy engineering to fuck with anything from quantum physics to thought transmitters. Next up, be that over 400 switch hitter. Out the park, Kingpin Dave putting through justice, pound for pound. It be these 2000 rap slugfest, hardcore with future MCs fight future wars. But for now, I'm fighting a squad of super whores. But fucking invincible Kofo skills for takeout. Where you can get the beef broccoli with extra duck sauce. The quick draw, intend to keep cops reaching for the bear claws. Come meet the Coney Island intruder, hit the yards way after midnight. Had a scheme for a burner, etched out the night and grab fight. Apply the same ideology of b-boyism into the mic. And scratch the sound like a quarter-inch bolt broken off co-flow. Coming at you from that reverse payola shit. Got stations blessing me off 2000 every song minute. Secretly teach background vocals in R&B clinics. Until, but for now, you can't get one at night. Curfews is issued in the daylight. Until, but for now, you can't get one at night. Curfews is issued in the daylight. Until, but for now, you can't get one at night. Curfews is issued in the daylight. Population control. 1997. Population control. Serving niggas.
Population control. Population control.
Bless my soul.
Population control. Population control. Population control.
Bless my soul. Hello, what's this?
So here in Diagolon, we only watch Edgy D TV every Tuesday on the EdgeStream. You better be there. I'll be watching.
Welcome to the EdgeStream, the edgiest live show I know. The following show is a satire, and all characters appearing are fictitious in nature. Any resemblance to real persons living or dead are purely coincidental. Narcs are not welcome. Viewer suicide is advised.
I guess they all heard that I'm edgy.
You edgy. You're now tuned in to the edgiest guy I know.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the EdgeStream. It's good to be back. Thank you all for coming in tonight. How are you all doing? Fuck yeah. All right, we got some great content for you guys tonight. We got some big, juicy content. I know some of you guys have probably seen that Alex Stein video where he's trolling AOC. You know. So we'll be talking a little bit about that. Talking a lot about some other stuff too. I see some people in the chat. Tofu, how's it going? Here to help spread the light. 420, Name 101, Jordan Matt, Night Watchman. Good to see you all. Yeah, that was a pretty classic song that we played at the beginning there. Blind Company. Oh no, Company Flow. Population Control. A song that's more relevant than ever, but made 25 years ago. We have the entropy chat up too, so if anybody wants to donate or even send a link with like a donation or something, if the video is under 2 minutes or so, I could probably play it and check it out as long as it's somewhat relevant and it's not porn. I think we could do it. I'm sweating my ass off in here. I'm in my new place. It does not have air conditioning or any kind of AC unit, so I'm making do here. I'm in the middle of making my new studio here. So, with this back white wall is going to have to do for now, but we'll be working on that. I got a better mic arm here so I could have the mic nice and right in front of my face so you could hear me loud and clear. So that's pretty awesome. You know, try to make one or two things better each stream. So I only have so much time I could put into this, but I think this will be really good. I think it's coming in really loud and clear. And Tofu is helping me fix and make the audio even better than this, but I think it's pretty good for now. Scummy Mofo in the chat. Jonathan Ferguson saying, who is that couple? That is actually LP. I don't know who the other guy is. LP in his first rap group in the 90s. Or one of his first rap groups. Now, LP is now doing music with Killer Mike with Run the Jewels, and a lot of people know them from that. And it's kind of like the edgy Bernie bro leftist raps. And they're really good. They're really good, but nothing beats LP in the 90s in his earliest form. Trent Dobbs is saying that you do look wetter than normal. Yes, I am wet. I'm going to have to dab myself up with today's sponsor, the Bud Light. But not just any Bud Light, the gay Bud Light. And it has all our favorite pronouns on the can, of course. She, her, he, him. IEL, I believe that is. Can you see that? Now, last time I went with, I identified as, where is it? Z-Zer. Yeah, Z-Zer, as you could see. But I think today I feel more like a Z-Zem. A Z-Zem. Now, it sounds like almost the same thing, but actually Z-Zer is with a Z, and Z-Zem, or Zuzem, I'm not exactly sure, is with an X. So, I'm deciding to change my pronouns tonight for this show, and I expect you all to use the proper pronouns, okay? This isn't a joke. I expect you all to respect that my identity is fluid, okay? Or else Bud Light is no longer going to sponsor this show, and we're really hurting for some cash here. So come on, guys. I'm being genuine. I'm being genuine. This is serious business here. IEL, LL, two L's, spelled E-L-L-E. You know, this is real. This is serious stuff. I'm gonna kill myself if you don't comply. How does that sound? Does my mic sound good? Yeah. This arm is really good, and I can move it wherever I want and it doesn't drop. I'm very satisfied with this. Jonathan Ferguson is saying, I enjoy IPA, but it's full of estrogen. Is that what that is? Is that why I'm being such a pronoun bitch right now? I don't know. No, I bought this for the jokes. I could have bought the normal Bud Light, but come on. If you're going to buy the estrogen beer, you might as well go all in. But you're putting up a good point, Jonathan. We shouldn't be drinking this shit. I'm going to try to cut it out. I also got some, what is this? Kombucha. Now, this is some good shit. Some good fermented, carbonated beverage. Now, this will make your gut good. This will fight away all the gay in your stomach. So maybe I'll drink a bit of this to counteract it. All right, there we go. I'm feeling more manly now. That's how we do it. So yeah, today we'll be talking about, I don't know, AOC's big juicy booty for a little bit. I know John in the chat doesn't like me simping over women of color, so we'll try to keep that to a minimum. I want to talk about Jordan Peterson and how I think he's failing when it comes to, you know, leading a generation of men towards self-improvement and towards being able to think clearly. Because he is like astronomical popularity now, and I feel like he's being astroturfed as the safe, controlled opposition, popular conservative. But I think there's other people that we could look to, and we'll be looking into that. Oh yeah, and also how leftists in general tend to go against nature. They tend to go against the laws of nature, and these things can only be sustainable for so long before they come crumbling down. So we'll be looking at that phenomenon quite a bit, and we'll see where that leads. And now I am going to be solo tonight. If I have somebody in the chat who's been on the show before and wants to hop in on like Zoom or something, then feel free to send me a message or write in the chat and at me in the chat. But as for now, I think I'm just going to go solo for the night. So yeah, I think I'm just going to hop right into it. I was just on the show tonight with Derek Rance and the comedian Mark Hughes. Fucking hilarious dude. Really pushing the envelope when it comes to stand-up. Met him once in London doing stand-up there. So I hope he comes through Ontario again. We could hopefully get him set up and get a lot of people out there to see that. I'm working on some sketches with Derek too. So hopefully there's going to be a new Plaid movie in the making. But yeah, I just want to get this started off showing Alex Stein and his epic troll on Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, I believe her name is. I just know her as AOC. But this is what we need more of. We need these kind of like socially adept trolls that know how to get under these politicians' skins, these fake politicians that are really just puppets of the globalists. We need these kind of people who get under their skins in a way that is going to make everybody laugh. And you know the edgy rule. The more edgy you go, the funnier it has to be. Especially in Canada, because people aren't going to be on your side if you go too edgy and it's not funny enough. But I think Alex Stein is doing a really good job for where he is in America of finding that balance and really honing in on increasing his popularity, making everybody laugh, and just making a million memes out of each situation that he gets into. So let's check it out.
AOC, my favorite big booty Latina. I love you, AOC. You're my favorite.
Cheers.
She wants to kill babies, but she's still beautiful. You look very beautiful in that dress. You look very sexy. Look at that booty on AOC. That's my favorite big booty Latina. I love it. My favorite, AOC. Nice to meet you, AOC. Look how sexy she looks in that dress. Woo, I love it, AOC. Hot, hot, hot like a tamale.
Okay, perfect. He does a perfect job there, I
Big booty
think.
Latina. I love you, AOC.
Now, first of all, it's totally true.
I love it. My favorite, AOC. Nice.
When you see her walking away and he's saying all these things, you just have to go, no, he's got a point there. That she do be looking good in that dress. That's one thing. He ain't told a lie. He's not just gassing her up.
Nice to meet you, AOC. Look how sexy she looks in that dress.
And another point to make is the smile. He's always got a smile on. He's having a good time doing it. You know, they're going to call him a creep and a troll, but how much fun is he having? Who is having the most fun here? I think that is an important thing to keep in mind.
Woo, I love it, AOC. Hot, hot, hot like a tamale.
There you go. So, of course, she overreacted and made it into even more of a meme, which I think is, you know, what you want to go for here. You want to bait them into having an overreaction. Now, NBC is simping for her, giving her a platform in order to respond. And she immediately made a bunch of Instagram stories right after, showing how terrible and horrifying it was to have gone through that. Like, a guy compliments you, not really, because he's making fun of her, but his compliments were true. She did have a nice, big, juicy booty. So, I don't know how much that equals harassment, unless you're being very disingenuous about it. And it's not like AOC does not have that kind of, you know, she hits below the belt, too. You know, convincing people to go out to Supreme Court justices' houses and, you know, protest in front of their places and, you know, take it over the line when it suits her ideology. So she's not one to talk here.
I'm here in the Capitol. See this guy right there? Right there. When I was walking up.
Now, that is perfect. And just the way that he situated himself, too. It's supposed to make it look like he's some scary guy.
See this guy right there? Right there.
Perfect. Perfect positioning for her video, too. This couldn't have worked out better.
When I was walking up, he said, hey, right in front of a Capitol police officer, said, hey, here's this, look at that big ass, look at that big juicy booty.
He didn't even say that, but now she's paraphrasing. She's having sexual fantasies in her own head where she's using her own language. It's okay. It's okay. I know that Alex Stein is kind of a Chad, and, you know, he had the balls to do that. And by the way, her ginger husband was there the whole time, and he didn't do anything. He just let it all happen. She went out and did that thing where she was pretending to take a selfie with him. And he did nothing. He did nothing. I think my personal theory is that he thought that that was one of his wife's boyfriends, so he didn't want to interfere. He got beat up last time he tried to interfere with one of his wife's boyfriends, and she didn't protect him when that happened, so I'm thinking he probably made the right move in this situation by standing back.
This Latina, like whatever, you know, all the bunch of racist, sexist stuff. I think the thing that...
So it's racist to have reverence for nice Latina booties? I don't know. Am I supposed to be disgusted by them? Like, go like, ooh, stinky, stinky taco. No, 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 no. I don't know what you want from me. I'm trying to extend, to draw my bridge down towards you, but you won't accept it, AOC.
What was so crazy about that incident is not even that it happened, but that it happened on the Capitol steps right in front of a Capitol police officer. And this dude was engaged, like, this wasn't about a political opinion or protest or anything like that. He was engaged in very clearly sexually threatening, aggressive behavior.
The funny thing is, if it was about a political thing, then they would probably say that that's hate speech too. So it doesn't even matter whether it's political, whether he's teasing her with like a racy joke. It doesn't fucking matter to these people. They'll find a way, one way or another, to shut you the fuck up.
Behavior right in front, on the Capitol steps in front of an officer, and he wasn't even asked to take a step back.
Hey everybody, I'm here in the Capitol.
He was pretty far back, and then you came towards him. I don't know what you're saying there, but either way, it's got her flustered, making stupid decisions, making social media posts that don't really make any sense. And I believe this happened later in the day, because this is what I've heard happened, and she is wearing the same dress. So look at what she admits. She's probably flustered from that all happening. She's deleting posts on her story right after she's made them. So let's see what she admits here.
These insurrectionists,
Like Antifa?
and that there were actual officers working with.
So she's spurting out about the January 6th protesters, about how horrible they are. And what does she immediately admit? That there's police officers.
And we never got to the bottom of that, and we never got any answers about that. And then to this day, we're just supposed to pretend that that never happened. I have no idea what happened to the people on the inside who were very clearly sympathetic with.
So first off, she has no idea what actually happened, even though she's railing against the January 6th protesters. Apparently she was in the building, but she wasn't, and has made a whole scene about how her life was endangered. She wasn't even in the building. And now she's saying that all the police who were in there supposed to be stopping them were part of what was going on. Now, people who are being persecuted, January 6th protesters, are saying that police let them in. There's video footage of police officers letting them into the building. And then you have feds like Ray Epps telling people that they need to storm the building that have been called out. And we haven't gone to the bottom of this, AOC. Thank you for being on our side. She's on our side, and she doesn't even know it, because she's that stupid. She's that much of a fucking bimbo. I mean, but that ass is kind of juicy though. I mean, it do be kind of juicy though.
With what was going on, and opening the doors wide open for that. And I'm supposed to sit here and pretend like none of that ever happened. And then right afterwards, you have a massive, you just have this idea that throwing money at that problem is going to make it go away without any accountability. And
like, yeah, then why don't you team up with all like those Arizona GOP members like Paul Gosar or Wendy Rogers, who are trying to get to the bottom of what actually happened? Seems like you do too, but you're just too dumb to realize that, yeah, there was a setup. They were let in, and now they're being screwed over. And like, basically, this means that you should let all the protesters free, or most of them free, out of solitary confinement, out of prison. Like, drop their charges because they were fucking let in and they were set up. But she probably thinks that this means that we should be prosecuting more people. Yeah, you should be prosecuting probably the feds who were complicit in letting this happen.
And so this is where these things are breaking down. We're not safe. And it's not just about members of Congress not being safe. The food staff workers aren't safe. The janitors aren't safe. Like, we need to get to the bottom of this. So that's all I gotta say.
Pretty sure they wouldn't have wanted to take the janitors hostage, but whatever. Now, of course, the big juicy booty comments, look at that big ass, all those comments, she's just making herself even more memeable by that. Like, all that got immediately spread around. We're all laughing our asses off at her saying that. And I was hoping for some more songs about it. And this is probably the most viewed song remix that I've found so far. I mean, it's not very good, and I think that we could do better. I don't have the time personally to do this myself, but somebody's got to get on this and make a better song about this. So this is the best that we have so far, I think. It ties in all those Roe v. Wade protesters who were, twerking their asses to kill babies or whatever the fuck they were doing. So let's see what they have so far.
Look at that big juicy booty. Big juicy booty. Big juicy booty. Look at that big ass. Look at that big juicy booty. 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 Ass, 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 ass. Big juicy booty. Big juicy booty. Big juicy booty. Look at that big ass.
It's all right. It's all right. It's leaving a lot to the imagination, though. I feel like we need some more. We need some better dynamics. We need that to be auto-tuned. You know, like we need Schmo Yo or the Remix Brothers on it. We need to get that like tuned to like a good melody or something. We could do better, boys. We could do better. Anyways, I'm going to hop into the chat quickly before I get on to another topic, see what people are saying. Northwest Passage saying, Edgy D, new studio? Not really. This is a new place. Haven't built the studio yet. But we got some new equipment, got the mic arm here, and we're going to keep on improving week by week. I'll swear it again, saying, Edgy likes the stinky burritos. Hot tamale! You know, I don't discriminate. I'm still in my young years. And, I don't know, white women seem to be not at their best. Honestly, if we're talking eugenics here, and we want to get, like, the super master race, the Asians, the Chinese, they have 105 IQ. Put that with Edgy's, I don't know what my IQ is, but, you know, maybe we can make some super mixed baby. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But, yeah, I'm still young. Who knows? Oh, we got Rance wanting to join? Alright, I'm going to set up a Zoom, see if you could hop in for a couple minutes. Alright, in the meantime, I want to show you what a good remix actually sounds like. Alex Stein has had some better remixes done with his content. The Remix Bros actually did a good remix with that Tyria Mack chick that is running for Congress, I believe. This woman who's running for Congress, this is one of her last posts. I believe it's for her campaign. So, remember when, what's his name, Bill Clinton got a blowjob under his desk, and that was an impeachable offense? Like, oh no, yeah, like I know that's kind of, that's not the most professional thing, but this is the new politics. This is who we want in charge now. And this is actually art. This is like social justice or something. So this is the future. Yeah, and the Remix Bros made a good thing out of that. But yeah, I want to show you the Remix Bros song with Alex Stein in the meantime while I see if I could get Derek on here.
First item is
So this is Alex Stein trolling the Plano City, Texas Council meetings. So he was going around trolling all these city council meetings before he started, approaching people like Dan Crenshaw, that Adam Kislinger, whatever his name is, people like AOC, like face to face. So check this out.
Comments of public interest.
Comments of public interest. This portion of the meeting is to allow up to 3 minutes per speaker, and we do have some speakers this evening. The first one is Alex Stein.
Hello, Council. My name's Primetime 99 Alex Stein, and I have a little presentation for you today. I've prepared a little song for them. Let me turn this on. Prime time 99 on the grind all the time. Ukraine and I go insane. Put a bullet in Putin's brain. And you got that sanitizer. And you know I got that Pfizer. You know I stick it in my veins.
and stuff. Getting bucked, I do like 50 push-ups and stuff. I did vote for Biden. I've been getting a lot of hate. He said I ain't gonna be back if I don't vote for him. Y'all be getting me messed up on this child support stuff. Imagine how much child support that is. I can't even go out to the nightclub. I've been getting lawyers, but they ain't doing nothing for me. I can't do nothing. I can't join up in the military. Can y'all smoke weed with the city council? Cause I'm trying to get on this. If I can smoke weed, I was trying to join up in the military and stuff for World War III. Cause I had failed the drug test.
Prime time, 99, on the grind, all the time. Ukraine and I go insane. Put a bullet in Putin's brain. And you got that sanitizer. And you know I got that Pfizer. You know I stick it in my vein. Put a bullet in Putin's brain.
They try to make me pay this child support, or they gon' lock me up. I gotta buy them new Jordans and stop. My life in the fast lane, I'm Jeff Gordon. You better be recording. I'ma be just like M and Dre, that's facts. Someone gon' get me my bag. I'm a deadbeat dead, I don't take that bad. Just trying to get my paper, so throw me a stab. I'ma say this, I can't wait for the new world order. I mean, that's too much responsibility. I can't wait. Klaus Schwab, shout out to the Great Reset, World Economic Forum. Take my kids.
Prime time, 99, on the grind, all the time. Ukraine and I go insane. Put a bullet in Putin's brain. And you got that sanitizer. And you know I got that Pfizer. You know I stick it in my vein. Put a bullet in Putin's brain.
Good shit. Good shit. Okay, I'll get you in on this screen right here. There you go. Can we hear you, Derek?
I don't know. Testicles. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Yeah, your testicles are coming in loud and clear in HD 4K. Let's go.
Beautiful. Good. Nice set you're doing, talking about booties. I like this Stein guy.
Yeah, Alex Stein. Now I want to talk a little bit about just his charm and his strategy that he's got going on. How we can maybe apply something like this to Canada. Is there any venues in which we could get something going here? And how do we take it to a level where we don't all go to jail for some kind of sexual harassment, right? Because I feel like if we did that here, that's like a fine line. That there's not any politician that you'd want to do that to that would get a big enough reaction from a greater community that agrees with you.
Well, I think he's doing it at a board or something, like a school board or something. Isn't it a board of trustees or whatever the fuck?
Right. So that is something that we could do here, I
Sure.
think. Right. For a while, they had everything restricted with COVID where, you couldn't even, like, everything like this was done online. They probably still do it online because they're lazy as shit.
Well, you have guys trying to crash Zoom meetings and bail hearings and stuff like that.
Right.
So it is possible. Sure. There's always the newest ways to troll. I mean, once it's done the first time, it's never the same, right?
Right. I think in Canada, though, we need to make it funnier the more edgy it gets. Or else you're going to set yourself up for some kind of gay hate crime charge.
I think that's part of the fun, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna be fucking
you want
charged.
it to be
like,
so funny that when they try to
yeah,
charge you,
you want your rap
then-
sheet to be the funniest shit you've ever seen. Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
like anybody would fucking laugh with the boys at. It's like a Steve-O mentality, All right, dude. If I'm leaving jail, I'll give up my ID if I can keep the shoes, because I can always get new ID.
Yeah. It's like, this is Jackass, and I'm gonna go and tell AOC that she is a fine fucking booty or something, and then you just go run in.
Well,
it's gonna be that kind of thing.
We've reached clown world, a point in clown world where the laughs are more worth the punishment.
Right.
Like, if you get some really good laughs, I'll do a month. Like,
Right. Compared to Tamara Leach or something, where she's just going in and out of jail, and we don't even really know what she was doing with the trucker convoy. Like, what was her position in charge?
I
She was
think the
literally
problem
just-
was she
right?
let the position of authority slip from her fingers. I think she was there with all good intentions.
Right. Well, she became like the patsy of it, but did
Yes.
she really get anything of it other than like they're both celebrating her but persecuting her?
it's gonna go on for a while, right? Like,
Right. It's so funny because now Pat King is released and Tamara Leach is back in jail.
and good that Pat is fucking released.
Yes,
Dude
yes,
spent
it is
5
good.
months fucking whatever you think about Pat. I got a couple of beefs with Pat myself, but regardless, I don't want to see the guy in
He's the
jail.
leader of the Anglo-Saxon race. Have you not seen those videos?
And he's got Mati as well.
Right, yeah. Well,
Oh,
fucking
like I
hats
don't
off
want
to
to.
him.
I don't
like
want to
him.
see anybody sitting in jail like that. Like, there's
Yeah,
no reason
exactly.
he spent more time in jail than what the punishment for the crime that he was charged with would be. Like, any
Oh,
sane
of
human
course.
being can see that it's fucking retarded that he was in jail for that fucking long.
It's sad that his Facebook is now deleted. I hope that it's just privated or something, and that he could have it back.
You can
because
always
I
get
don't-
it back. It's never really a fully deleted thing. You can always get
Well,
it back. But
Even then, Facebook just deletes people left, right, and center, right?
Pat can always apply for a variation as well. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is how the guy made a living, is off
Right.
social media.
He'll come back. He'll come back in some way.
Like, so they can always apply for a variation with his bail conditions and see if the judge accepts it or whatnot. But right now, he was just trying to get out, and good on him for getting out. Like,
And now the Coots guys, those are the real political prisoners of this all. And they're not getting no help from nobody because their
Nope.
charges look so bad that no one really wants to lend.
But
out a hand
everybody
for them.
has-
But there's been no evidence that any
Nope.
of that is actually true beyond political persecution. They have posts saying that these guys are we're in a war. Okay, well that doesn't mean that they were conspiring to kill police officers.
And
If you have your
watching-
mind, show some proof. That's fucking ridiculous.
and watching everybody say, oh, like the one guy broke down and cried in jail. Yeah, dude, I'm not
Yeah,
surprised.
he was in the hole. Are you fucking
Like,
kidding me?
You know what it's like fucking being in there or being in the hole and then being brought out and told, oh, you got to spend another year before you even get to fucking talk to somebody.
Right.
Like-
Imagine. It's just so ridiculous. Were they really trying to kill police officers?
I was
plotting
looking
to
up,
murder them?
the
Absolutely
charge.
Not. That is not fucking true.
I was looking up the charge of conspiracy
do
to
that?
commit murder. Okay. It's a very specific charge to try and lay on somebody in the States and here. So, and you have to be able to prove without reasonable doubt, that they did it between communication and not just hearsay and not just them just shooting the shit. Like, they have to have a plan.
Well,
The
it's
plan
going
doesn't
to
have to be executed,
knocked down
but
to something lower, I think. But and then they're gonna get time served. But they're just
Exactly.
brutalizing them in the meantime.
It's
and
to get
using
their
it as
headlines.
political. Yeah.
You can
political
pretty
headlines
much
and stuff.
guarantee that their sentence will be 1 year. Period. That's
Okay.
what they're doing. You
I
know
don't
what I
wanna
mean? Like,
do too much hearsay on these guys. On
no, but
pretending to be
I've said this
political-
many times before. This
Right.
is how it's going to play out. They're going to hold these guys, break them. You can tell it's already working. By a year from now, when they go to trial, they're going to say, like, okay, we'll plead down to a lesser charge. Or I bet you that happens prior to the trial. They'll try and get them to plea out. Say, okay, we'll drop this. If you plead guilty to a lesser charge, then you could be out in time served. That's how it'll go. And they still get their fucking headlines because they
Right.
get a guilty plea. And what's a lesser charge from conspiracy to commit?
I don't know.
Like,
I don't know,
what a
man.
specific charge? Like, yeah, they had a plan. They had
Reckless endangerment and possession or something.
They had a drawing that showed how they were going to execute it, and that's how it was like, fuck off, you guys. We all
I
know
doubt- I
the people
doubt
that
they had
charged them were
anything like
fucking
that.
corrupt in the first place. The cops that were there were cutting wires on construction equipment that had nothing to do with the protests and filling the oil filters with fucking insulation foam.
Right.
Like, these guys have been known for this shit. You're telling me that they're not trying to plant something or do something to end this because they didn't have political pressure from their bosses, from Brenda Lucky?
Well, I have I've said this before in a previous stream, like my theory on why they are giving them such heavy-handed charges. For one, it's to scare everyone off, but also, take a place like Idaho. Like a month ago or so, they had those Patriot Front guys, and there was 5 other people that descended upon a pride event in a park, right? And many of the people there were legally armed, walking around in a park. Now in Canada, you're not allowed to do anything like that. That's totally illegal.
Yeah.
So I think the reasoning within the law is that if there's any evidence of intention to have a firearm near a protest, then like since you're not allowed to do it, it's not the states where you have Second Amendment rights, that everything is immediately construed as the worst of the worst case scenario of the results of you having that there. And then
Sure, but I know
what
the specifics of that. They weren't at the protest.
Oh, of course not. But they're gonna try to construe it in one way or another, with their involvement.
Yeah. Yeah, and now you're seeing people just repeat what they've read in the media and they believe it for fact.
Right.
Like, no, it's a militia and they're charged with, conspiracy to commit. Fuck you guys. Seriously. For just reading the headlines and going through, and now that's fact in your fucking head.
And the funny thing is, in the last article I saw today, I know we're just beating a dead horse on this on the subject sometimes, but this came out today, I believe, or yesterday or something, and they were tying it to Diagolon once again, and it's like, so one of the guys, or one or two of the guys, was a fan of the podcast that Edge does, and that are you trying to implicate everyone who's a fan? That's completely ridiculous.
I heard
immoral.
that the same trailer that they found the guns in, they found a McDonald's wrapper. So if anybody should be on the hook, is that dirty fucking clown.
And that
Fuck
fucking
that clown.
purple motherfucker, Grimace.
Grimace is suspect. Well, he could be the Hamburglar, but I don't think he deals with international protests.
Do you want to
on
rain
bail
hell on my
conditions.
chat for 1 second before I get into the next thing?
Oh, I've already been doing that, and I think they want you to turn up your mic a bit.
Oh, shit. Sorry. Yeah, it was turned down too much.
I see my boys, Trent Dabbs, Jay Sam,
yeah.
Rogue Spears in the house.
All right, I'll be right back.
All right, brother. Yeah, I was listening to what you guys were talking about before. I think you were just going on about AOC's big booty hoes. That woman, fuck. Her and Bernie Farber are about the biggest drama queens I've ever seen in both sides of the 49th parallel. How many fucking admins are there in this chat? There's more admins than there are people in this chat by the looks of it. JL Plattsmith's in the house. East Coast Canadian. We're all going to be working on a project together, guys. Plaid Army. Edgy's doing some of the editing. We're going to get Matt to do some. I'll do some if I have to, but it won't be up to snuff compared to what you guys do. Either way, we'll get a few projects out. So that's, I'm down to 4, I think I'm working on now. But yeah, with 4 projects, yeah, Rogue Spear, you got to have a wrench too. Man, Pig, Bear. Man, Pig, Bear. Is that fucking South Park thing? Man, Pig. I think so. Yeah, Plattsmith, we'll get you in there. Yeah, there should be some good projects. We've got like one scene that was kind of cut out rough. That was funny.
Talking about the sketches that we're working on?
A little bit, yeah.
Sweet. Yeah. I think we got some funny stuff coming along the way and a new movie in the works. Me and Derek together are working on several different projects, so
yeah,
we're
got
busy
like
as
3.
fuck. I had to tell him, like, in between his stream and my stream, like, man, I can't take any more projects now. I'm
Yeah.
fucking full. But yeah, good stuff coming along the way.
They'll all be worth it as long as everybody gets in. And I'm working on maybe a special speaker for the one documentary.
Okay.
Working on. Well, I don't want to say it public. Well, it's one of 2 big names in Canada that I've been working on because I don't know if they'd be in one together, but I'll leave it at that.
I don't even know what you're talking about, so I'm fucking intrigued.
Both people were affected by anti-hate directly, so why not try and get as big name as we can in there, right?
Okay. Now, what would you say if your daughter came home looking like this one day, Derek?
All right, I gotta check because I can't see on the Zoom screen. I gotta.
Oh, sorry. Let me. Here, I'm gonna send it over on the Zoom screen so you can see everything I'm doing.
Okay.
Sorry, a little boomer tech here, but I'll get it to you in 1 second.
Yeah, I've just been sitting here looking at myself, pretending I know what's going on.
Okay, you can see that now?
I just see your head coming out of a toilet with a third eye. Is there something I have to press?
No, I got it.
View or something like that?
Can you see it?
No.
Now?
There we go. Now I get what in the fuck? I'd beat his ass.
There we go. Okay, now I think our boomer tech
Okay,
is...
no, if I'm being a real fucking father, I would challenge him on everything. Absolutely everything he said and everything he did to see if he'd get through it.
I came out as trans, non-binary, and told my family my name and pronoun 1.5 years ago. Okay.
Okay, I was just going off looks alone. If you started saying that shit...
Pronoun tatted on the face. They.
You got they tattoos. Dude, we gotta work on our pronouns, okay? We gotta gotta play this game. I'm thinking about
I have
Master.
Yul. Okay. My real
You bought
name
one of those fruity fucking drinks.
My real name is Dan, so I go by Yul and not E or where is it? ELL. Danielle.
Dan, no, I'm not gonna
Dan
get past this.
/IEL/ELLL.
You supported Bud Light with that.
I did it
fruity drink?
ironically. To be honest, I saw David Menzies of Rebel News do a thing where he went to the Labatt Blue factory in their headquarters in London. The one that I've went to like a whole bunch of times, and he goes to their speaker because they have like a drive-through thing, and he's asking the guy there like, "Oh, what does it mean when it has ze, zer, she, her? What are these words?" And of course, they're not going to give him proper answers. And I was thinking like, bruh, like a couple of years ago, I think it was during Canada Day or into like one of those days or May 2-4, some crazy guy went insane because they weren't open on that day, and he went into their factory behind the building and he started just drinking beer, and then the police came and there was like a standoff where he's whipping beer bottles at them for hours. And I was like, that's what you should have done, Menzies. That is some ideologically motivated
right
yeah
there.
comedic
But okay,
extremism.
Edgy, are you just saying like I bought it ironically? Is that like when Matt, East Coast Canadian, was telling us, yeah, I'm watching a documentary on fags, and we're like, dude, are you watching gay porn? I don't know if a documentary on fags. Are you sure
I think he was watching the Sodomite Deception, and in that case, it was very based. So
he was watching Ugropa.
Ugropa, the last manhandle. Anyways, literally have my pronouns. So L/they has their pronouns tatted on their face. They also have like some weird kind of creature eyes. I'm not sure what
I
that
might
is.
not let that leave afterwards.
And then,
like,
and
I'm
then
okay. I can get past the face tattoos and the ink. I can get past that. It's what you like. Present to me that you're a gentleman. I'm going to test you on everything, but if
I don't
you're
know.
into
I feel
this trans ideology, stay the fuck away from my family.
I feel like this is like the decaying Wojak meme right here in person. You know what I mean? Like that tattoo literally looks like a meme in reality right here.
It used to be hard for me to meet parents. Not for me because I can talk to them, but just for how I look, right?
Right,
So I can get past that with somebody that's fucking totally tatted up. But you start talking this gender shit, fuck you.
Well, my personal take on this is that there's different types of these people, these leftists who are trying to like go against the grain with these pronouns things. And I think this one specifically is a spiteful mutant. Like they hate their dad, so they hate their parents, so now they're trying to make them purposefully not get their weird pronouns right. And then so they can make a TikTok out of it. Because that's what they really want. If they're not going to be mad at their dad for this reason, then it'll be another reason. So they're just looking for trouble. They hate society. They want to rebel against it. Yeah. So they're a spiteful mutant. That's what I call it. And it literally
against society. You're doing exactly what they want.
Right. Ironically enough, right? Now
If
there's
Walmart-
another kite.
If Walmart sells your ideology on a T-shirt, you're not the counterculture.
You guys,
Very true. Now there's another kind where I think this one, instead of a spiteful mutant, it's more of a, I wrote this down, a disassociative LARP. So they want to LARP as something that's not human in order to disassociate. Now I feel worse for these people because they seem nice and, you know, they're not as hateful and trying to, you know, rebel against everybody and piss everybody off. But it's like, what the fuck is going on?
And a strange token, it's like, if I know what this video is, and she talks about communicating with her kids because she's a cat and she communicates with her kittens, right?
Right.
But at the same token, if she has the right to raise her kids like that, I want the same right to raise my kids the way I want to. Do you know what I mean? She does have that right if you look at it that way, but it's fucked, and your kids will be fucked in life. But
I mean, if they go to school thinking that they're entitled to meow, like,
overall, we're a very happy kid.
no, they don't go to school.
now that's the kind of meow.
These kids will want to use a litter box in the fucking classroom. That's not. You remember that pre-kindergarten interview that you used to have? When you'd have to sit there with your parents and some person from the school came over. Maybe this might be a different generation, but they came over and they were basically doing like a test on you. A few different things. Like, okay, yeah, he's ready for kindergarten. I don't know any kids that failed that test, to be honest with you, but her kids might.
I've never heard of this. Now, I don't have any kids.
No, that's not something they did?
Maybe it happened to me, but I don't remember. And I certainly would have not failed that. So I could imagine that in this society today with COVID and stuff, they might not even get to that. They'll just tell you, oh yeah, stay at home. So a lot more kids will fail that, right? Yeah, you just stay at home if you're going to do that.
Our kids are going to be fucked without these 2 years development.
So yeah,
I'm
now...
happy or content meow. Meow. Okay, then one of the most important ones for our kitten family is that I want to go potty meow. It took me a really long time to master this meow because it
now this I have questions.
To be really specific.
Not so much this one,
for
the
my
next
kids
one.
To understand.
Meow, meow, meow.
So you need to have someone's permission to go to the washroom, and you need to figure out a special weird, like, Morse code meow in order to figure that out. Now I'm kind of interested. This is like a fun game.
Well, the next one is fucking legendary.
Okay,
all right, let's
this
check
is the
it
most
out. I don't know
important
what
meow
you're
for
talking
me,
about.
and it's the I need help wiping meow. Okay, and last but definitely...
What?
I got shit in my ass, bitch. How's that? That's a lot easier than meowing. Like,
wait, so you said that she's teaching her kids that. Did I miss that part?
yeah. That's why she's asking, like, I still need to wipe. She's talking about potty time right now.
Right. So she's teaching her kids to meow. Now, that's usually what happens when you get, like, raped or, like your dad, who's now in prison, sets you on fire or something. So now whenever the kids talk to you at school, you go, woof, woof, woof. That's usually how that would happen historically. But now she's just teaching them.
So what are you trying to say? Somebody beat that pussy up when she was... Oh, wow. That was going to get dark.
I wasn't saying that specifically, but there must be some kind of trauma that you have to make a disassociation this hard from real life and being normal into this kind of cat LARP that you're doing.
Oh, wow. Somebody mentioned declawed in the chat, and I was like, oh, like Paul Bernardo.
What? Declawed?
Because he took out the fingernails and the
teeth
of the victims.
Shit. Okay, yeah. I was wondering. I did not know that specific thing.
Yeah, that was pretty harsh.
Okay, well, we got a super chat on Entropy from Short and Long saying, my 9-year-old asked me, what do you call a picture of an orphan? A family portrait. Okay, I got it. Yeah. That's a good one.
That's pretty good. I like
It
that.
took me a second, and I was like, I don't
Yeah.
want to not get the dark joke, please. Okay, it came to me. That's a good one. Fuck yeah. Well, these kinds
well,
of
we might as well
denials.
finish this fucking communication tutorial off.
Okay,
Definitely not
let's see what
least
she said.
Is our in heat meow, and we use this when we need a little bit more special kitten attention.
Whoa, would you?
That's okay.
Would
wait
you,
till she's
Derek?
done.
Would
wait,
you?
Wait until she's done, and we'll ask. the
She's
crowd.
in heat, bro. Come on. Are you gonna
Right?
respond to
Okay,
the call?
I know some of you guys in your 20s that have been fucking put out a little bit by COVID, not getting it on. If you heard this, I bet you some of you on your Tinder dates would fucking look past this. I bet you'd be like, "Fuck it, it's been a while. I'll meow with this bitch. Fuck it."
We want you guys. We want you guys to get a little bit of a tingle when you hear this from now on. Okay.
If you know what I mean.
Oh.
Meow.
Now that's the ASMR that I want to fall asleep to every night. Okay.
You wake up to that. She's at your feet.
Meow.
Hell yeah. I'd put her in a cage overnight. Let's go.
You would, eh? Do you think she needs a travel case? Would that be a little weird to fucking open up the back of your SUV and open up a cage and let her crawl out?
Well, as a wife, she might be more cost effective if I could just do that, right? And I'll be like, no, she identifies as a cat. I could put her in the cargo when we go traveling.
Can you discipline a cat? Like, do they understand?
You could. I don't know the legality of spraying your wife with a spray bottle, but if she's a cat, hey,
Fat kitty.
Now we cannot run from Mother Nature forever. We could pretend we're cats even though we're not, but at some point, the nature is going to correct itself. So I want to show you a little video.
Nature's going to correct itself by the apocalypse hitting, and these people thinking that they can fulfill their dreams by becoming a furry, getting dressed up, and people are out hunting for food, and guess what happens?
I've never thought of it that way, but
you know, fucking trying to survive the apocalypse,
we got it.
And some fucking furry sticks up with their head looking for love, right between the eyes, and before you know it, you're a cannibal.
Or no, that cat that looks like a pretty big cat. It looks like it's meowing in the heat, and
is that cat wearing an anklet and a shirt? Doesn't matter, dude. I haven't eaten in 10 fucking days.
Yeah. Yeah. That looks like a big juicy booty. I bet we could at least feed ourselves for a couple nights.
I don't care if that's AOC or a fucking raccoon. I'm eating it.
Hell yeah, brother. Well, let's see what happens here.
My name is Erin. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm...
Oh! Mother Nature gives no fucks about your pronouns.
Not the first time. Not the first time I've seen this with a cat. Cats know.
They know because they get, like dogs and cats, they get neutered, they get spayed. So gender realities, the realities of biology really mean something to them. So when you have this dumb white bitch,
the cat's got fucking childhood trauma.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, bitch,
how do you talk about
My
this
name is
shit?
Erin. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm...
Shut the fuck up, bitch. And now she seems like, I don't know, mildly attractive.
You use
by
she,
that.
her pronouns. You been calling me mittens for fucking years.
Right. Now I want to show you what happens. Like, this was light. She got off easy. You know, she got a little scratch in the face. She's like, oh my god, maybe I shouldn't be such a dumb bitch from now on. Oh, silly me. So whatever. But going forward, let's see what could really go wrong if you try to go against the laws of nature. You try to
show the tiger attack in China now.
Well, I want you to meet Travis the chimp. Now, this is Travis the chimp in his early days when he was just a little cute boy shilling for Pepsi Cola, shilling for Big Sugar.
Let's call it a night.
There goes Travis. Nighty night.
Thank you.
Hey, Travis.
Hey, buddy.
Can we call him Patron?
Mr. Patron. I mean, he's more civilized than that, Travis.
Throw a little
Despite
Indiana
being
Jones
wonderful
hat on.
companions over the past semester,
Is this a Diet Pepsi
I'm sorry
commercial?
to report that my subject groups
Yes.
It
were
is.
below average in all responses.
They're
They
saying
showed poor communication skills,
He's gonna give an abortion?
no understanding of tools and their uses,
Roe v.
Oh,
Wade
he's
is
stealing
back,
keys.
baby.
Stealing keys. All right, everybody, calm down.
a complete lack of organization, and no decision-making abilities.
Clever. I like
Now
the
imagine-
oversight.
Imagine if
I can't
Africa
find
had
some
this much
extraordinary
ingenuity.
missing link that will unlock the barrier.
Sorry, that was a bad joke.
This project will be cancelled. Thank you.
You can't see me.
No, oh, isn't that cute? Little baby, cute monkey.
Look at that.
Shilling, giving her the Diet Pepsi, and that is like the connection from monkey to human.
How did they
And
go from Cindy Crawford to that? Because they were fucking done around the same time, I think. This is
And
how
you-
Diet Pepsi used to sell their shit. It's like, what the
Yeah.
fuck does this have to? This is like a cologne commercial. What the fuck does this have to do with a soft drink?
Well, this reminds me of the Kendall Jenner commercial where like there's all these people against each other, and then she comes in with the Pepsi and like unites everybody with a Pepsi. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. It was just bad taste, if you ask me. At least Cindy Crawford was just there with a Pepsi machine, jean shorts, and a fucking Lamborghini or some shit. Like, you didn't see her with fucking niggers with attitude out there in Compton doing the same commercial, which would have been a great commercial, by the way.
I think it would have. Now, this is Travis back then in the 90s. Shilling for Big Sugar. But look what happened to him. Old Travis, he got a little... He had a little too many Diet Pepsis and
Yeah.
whatnot.
Travis looks like he fucking invites other monkeys new to the business back to his hotel rooms.
Yeah, he's the Harvey Weinstein of monkeys now. He got sent through the ringer. Oh, buddy. Oy vey. Oh,
Oh, you're coming back to the cage with me, kid.
oh, you want to star in the new MXP movie?
You gotta eat more than just this banana.
Yeah. Do you remember those movies? MVP, MXP. So, most valuable primate. I think he played basketball. That's not
No.
racist. He just did.
Most valuable primate. Oh my god.
And then there's MXP where he skateboarded. Imagine MXP, most extremist primate. And
No,
he's just
but,
wearing like a fucking German
I'm never gonna look
Nazi
at the
hat
fucking all.
doing
I'm never gonna
Romans.
look at. I'm never looking at the All-Star game again the same way. Like
What is the All-Star game? Oh, okay. Yeah. I
he
get
just
what you're
out there with the most valuable primate. That doesn't just go away.
He's just swinging from the rim. Woo, woo.
Oh my god.
I'd watch
That's fucking-
sports.
You know what? If Kevin Hart said that joke in the roast of fucking Shaquille O'Neal, that would slay. But because we're saying it, we might go behind bars.
Very true. But yeah, shilling for Big Trigger will only take you so far before it makes the monkey agitated and angry, and he's fat and his body is failing him. He's also being held captive in order to shill for things that he didn't quite understand until they're killing him.
He's smiling.
It's kind of like a metaphor for what we're dealing with.
You know what he's smiling about? He's got a fucking fourth hand that he's jerking off with under that blanket. You just can't see it.
That's true. Monkeys, their feet are like better
Right?
than their hands. Their
Like
feet.
a foot job would be fucking.
You know how chicks give bad hand jobs, like notoriously, through pop
Think
culture.
about how
Like,
much you
oh,
get done during the day, though.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you could be typing up a fucking essay, just jerking it with your foot. Just do. Stroking away. Even
You know what? I
cupping
don't
your
want-
balls with the other one.
I don't want to think about this too much more, or else I'm gonna become like that cat
You get
self.
sick cross-legged.
I'll
you'd just
I'll
be
become a
sitting there.
furry myself. So let's not go down that rabbit hole.
Well,
or that monkey hole, or whatever.
all
you
right.
wanna
Do you
call it.
remember that Japanese surgery they did? Where I remember this. fucking-
Japanese surgery? That already sounds bad.
They took the two fingers in the middle and they put them on a guy's foot. And they took the two toes and put them on his hand. I don't know why they did it. There's no strategic fucking value to it whatsoever. Well, I guess having fingers on your foot's pretty cool, right? But you don't have the
Right.
thumb apparatus until they get past that bone structure in the foot to give you a thumb. It's kind of pointless to put fingers on there, right?
They have one opposable toe, right? So their toe could curl up backwards. So yeah, I read this about chimpanzees after getting into this. So basically, what happened? I heard a famous monkey ate someone's face, and I was like, I don't care if it happened 12 years ago or whatever. I'm covering this. This is amazing. This is Edgy D TV.
I remember the monkey.
This is relevant.
Okay, but let's get back to the knuckles on the monkey's foot. It goes backwards. Like, can you imagine being able to grip front and back?
Yeah, that's how they could probably swing. Like, they could, like, trapeze themselves like a fucking Cirque du Soleil on any tree branch or whatnot. How do you think they're
And
able
having
to do
the
that?
thumb in the foot is the fucking kicker, though. Like, that's how you really get down in the trees.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you just have all four limbs just fucking patatao.
Well, anyways, after in
Who's really the
2009,
evolved one when you think about it?
well, Travis is the one who could get those keys to get the Diet Pepsi. I wouldn't have been able to think about
Dumbass
that.
went and got a diet, though. I don't know. Fucking.
Well, I got a Diet Red Bull for the first time because I was like, sugar
What
is
the
really
fuck
killing us.
is the point of a diet Red Bull?
Well, it still has the energy in it, right?
Red Bull with the fucking wheels. Not wings. It's fucking.
With the wheels. Okay. Well, anyways, let's see what Travis got up to when he was 13 or 14 years old after years of obesity and being retired and just hanging out with his owner, who's keeping him captive despite him being a wild animal. He's no longer a cute little monkey getting the Diet Pepsi and shilling for Big Sugar. Let's see what he's up to now.
Why are you saying that she's dead?
She's dead. He ripped her apart.
He ripped what apart? Her face?
Everything. Oh,
He ripped her apart?
listen. She's dead. She's dead.
But the woman
Oh,
was
okay.
not.
Sorry. Wrong video. Fuck
Did
you,
you just go
Oprah.
to fucking Oprah after that? What the fuck just happened there?
Wrong video, but that was pretty relevant though. Okay, this is what I actually wanted to show.
Stand for 911. Where's your emergency?
Send the police.
What's the problem there?
The chimp killed my friend.
We heard this call come in over the radio, and when we first heard it come in, we couldn't believe that this was taking place. We almost thought it was maybe a prank.
Who's killing your friend?
My chimpanzee.
Oh, your chimpanzee is killing
Oh, your chimp is killing your friend? Oh, okay.
your friend.
He ripped her apart. Hurry up.
We continued to listen on the radio, and then it sounded very serious.
And what is the monkey doing? Tell me what the monkey.
He ripped her face off.
Is the monkey still by your friend, or can you get close to your friend?
Eating her. He's eating her.
This is what happens when you start with this pronoun bullshit, was the point I was trying to make before.
I don't know, but like, can you imagine being that person calling? You're literally watching a primate eat your friend, and they're not taking you
Face.
seriously when you're calling for help. They're like,
Right.
is the monkey in the room with you right now?
Well, let's see what happened to her friend, because she survived and she was conscious even when she got to the hospital. Now, this
oh my
is her.
god, does she look like the guy from Silence of the Lambs?
Oh, worse.
What the fuck worse?
So, viewer discretion is advised. If you don't want to see a mangled face,
I have
then
to. I have
look
to.
away.
I have
Derek is down to see it. So, this is Oprah asking her to take off her veil. Now,
Does she have no hands either?
yeah, so her fingers and her hands got eaten. What else happened? Yeah, most of her face, the top half of her jaw, got ripped off. Her nose was hanging on by a thread. She lost both her eyes. Like, this is insane, and she's in incredibly good spirits despite what happened to her. Like, I'm not making fun of her whatsoever, even though this is fucking crazy.
My God.
But watch this.
I'm lifting the veil. Oh, that is all. So we can see. You could take the hat off. Oh, the hat comes off. Yep. Okay. All right. All right. So the veil is lifted. You know, many people around the world
And there you go.
get a picture of you. We can see.
This is what happens.
So the veil is lifted. You know, many people.
When you try to contain nature, when you try to go against nature, nature will bite back and they'll rip your face off, because nature does not care about your pronouns. It does not care about, you know, monkey is my best friend and monkey do this. And also, I would extend this to having mass unfettered immigration, saying refugees or whatever else are my best friends. And if the science and the actual reality of the statistics does not line up, then bad things can happen. And
well, it's like,
what are you going to say at that point?
The reason we had borders, and like what you're saying about immigration there, is like people in the zoo would just, you know, the tigers and the llamas were living beside each other for years. We just decided to take the fence down, and who knew? Fucking tiger ate the llama. Like, that's basically what you're looking at with the borders that are dropping right now. Just
now I'm not comparing refugees and immigrants to monkeys. I'm not saying that they're well, I am kind of
tigers. I was saying tigers.
I'm making a metaphor that goes beyond the animalistic nature
Regal
or
creatures.
You know, I'm not trying to dehumanize. I'm trying to make a good, relevant point here. You don't go against nature. You don't try to domesticate a wild animal that is unpredictable. Now, this woman was the owner's friend. She was like a 51-year-old or so woman, and she called her up. I think that this woman who got mauled was the owner of Travis's employee, and she held up a tickle me Elmo kind of thing. Like she held up his toy Elmo. And then that's when, and Travis was already out, so that's why she called her up in order to like get him to come back or whatever. And then he was already
so this
agitated.
Was really Travis? That wasn't just a bit? That like this is actually Travis?
Well, what the fuck was that?
I wasn't sure if you were just joking around by saying, "Hey, look what happened when he got older." This is really Travis.
Well, look at the title: "The Woman Who Was Mauled by a 200-pound chimp."
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's Travis.
Okay, well, it doesn't say that. I thought you were just making a joke by saying like, yeah, they grew
up.
Oh
no, that all happened.
That's actually Travis.
Yes. Now.
Oh my God, he fucking bitch. Where's my Diet Pepsi? And he just fucking, I don't want Elmo. Give me my Diet Pepsi. And he just fucking lost his shit.
Yes,
he's addicted to that aspartame.
Yes. Now
Holy
I'm about
fuck.
to go. I might go monkey mode if I keep on drinking this stuff. This
dude.
Diet Red Bull.
Just fucking synthetic.
Woo! Let's fucking go.
Oh my God, he's about to have a chimp out.
Yes. And now, you know how we create these problems for ourselves by trying to go against nature, right? For example, trying to make people who are very different live amongst each other and then, you know, attack essentially the host population like they're doing in the West and saying it's all our fault for anything that happens when you bring in all these different people and like some kind of violence occurs, especially when it's against the host population, then we're not allowed to say anything about it. And, you know, these things, especially in a place like England or in Germany, where, you know, there's all these sexual assaults on New Year's Eve in Cologne, like several years back.
Yeah.
There was like mobs of sexual assaults.
It was like 1,200 in one night.
Yeah, crazy shit like that happens, right? So then the New World Order, they try to cover that up. The globalists, they try to cover that up, and they try to create their own solutions to the problems that they've created in the first place. But it's never as good as it was before. It's always a Band-Aid on a problem that they created, and they create new problems with it. So, in this case, they domesticated a chimp, it ripped off a woman's face, so now she's gotten a face transplant. So they have created a new age solution for a new age problem.
What do they got? You got this?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I'm so excited to see you.
So this is
Fucking
this
doing
poor
nothing for-
this
it's
poor
not doing
woman.
anything for her hand job game.
Well, I think her body rejected the hands. Like her body was like no, and then they gave her hands, but her body rejected it because you know, you can't do everything that's that unnatural and expect nature to not reject it. So she's really just holding on with that face. I believe her body started rejecting the face too eventually after
Let's get a fucking close up of that face.
yeah.
Did they have to paint her eyes on?
To see her progress close
It
up.
doesn't look too bad from far. Oh, fuck.
that is a lot better than it was before. So
Absolutely.
modern technology really actually did help her face. So modern problems require modern solutions.
Still looks like it was done by Salvador Dali, but I mean, it's fucking.
I mean, this is
that's
miles better.
a lot. Oh my god, yeah, it's a million times better. You really shouldn't be criticizing when you look at this compared to the other.
Right. So, I don't know what the point of this is. Then, should we just bow down to the New World Order and all get in line for new faces?
No, there is something to be said about modern medicine. Okay, and the Rockefeller standard of medicine that we have in this country is good for things like that kind of trauma, like war trauma. People have their legs blown off and whatever else. They can save people. They can hook them up to machines. They got the greatest shit. They can save people.
But modern problems like war that didn't need to happen in the first place require modern solutions, like getting your face reconstructed.
Right. You fucking.
Let's not have the problem in the first place. And
you gave license to a bunch of Dr. Mengelas to be able to, or whoever it was, to be able to do their experiments because, well, they were blown up for this reason. I get to play with them now and fucking see what I can do.
Right, yeah.
But it's legal because,
yeah.
you know, you're saving them. Same with the whole abortion technology.
It's gross how war necessitates and allows for these kind of advances. But it's like, we don't need this war in the first place. Like, can we do it in a better way?
Funny thing, eh? Necessity is the mother of invention. So they make war happen to make real innovation happen, I guess. That's a fucked up way of thinking about it.
Well,
because necessity is the mother of invention, right? You see that. Mark Hughes can attest to this, being when you're in jail. Like, these guys have necessities in there, and it's the mother of invention. I've seen motherfuckers make a 20-foot rope out of toilet paper so they could change the channel on a TV after we've been locked down. Like,
yeah, it really does put you to the test. I think that there is really something about that where it's an attestment to Western and modern society in that we have become lazy and indifferent, and now we're getting taken over. Because we got slowly mind fucked because we didn't have to do anything, and now we're in for a rude awakening coming up. The chimpanzees coming for our faces.
My goodness.
And Short and Long just sent another donation on Entropy, and all it is simply labeled chimp with an AK-47.
Oh, yeah.
We've all seen this, yes.
Is this real or not?
It seems like a comedy sketch, to be honest,
Right?
but I think it's real. It's from 20th Century Fox Research Library, so unless that's a fairy tale right there, a fact or fairy tale.
Well, you don't know if they're putting something out that's real or fake.
This looks like something that would happen there.
No, these guys look too cool to be soldiers.
They're showing him exactly how to do it.
That doesn't sound like a joke. No, there's no way. It's a fucking great scene, but no, I don't believe it.
You don't?
No.
Does anybody have a fact check on that? I think it's real.
It's got to be a joke. Just listening to the sounds. The actors to be African soldiers, to be African gorilla, or fucking whatever they're gonna be, they're way too clean.
I think the video just looks so good that it might be fake.
Yeah.
Like it looks like it was done in order to be to look
Africans
as
an
real as to be as real and as much of a movie scene as possible while still looking real. So trust me, this is a joke. Yeah.
Fake.
Okay, yeah, it's fake.
No, Mr. Hands, on the other hand, that looks
the
real.
guy getting fucked in the ass by a horse and dying. Yeah, that's real. That checks out. That will happen. If you go against nature and you let a horse fuck you in the ass, it's going to damage your internal organs.
Have you ever seen a horse cock? It's got a
not
bone in it.
Not in real life, but
that will impale you. Like it's got a bone in it. You know, somebody, I think it was Al that sent it to me. The evolution of cocks and asses. If you look at each race, it's proportionate. Okay. You got the big booty black women. So you got big cocked Africans, right? Because they got to get past all that.
All right.
You look at Asians, they got them tiny dicks, but the women got no asses.
Okay. Yeah,
your dick is proportionate to your race's females' asses.
Are you making an argument against race mixing? You don't want the Asians to get obliterated?
I'm saying it could be a marker for a hypothesis as to which way evolution will go if you mix all species.
That there's gonna be a median of dick size and hole size? Is that what you're saying?
There's got to be because if you just allow it to run rampant between one community, it's just gonna get perhaps the Asians will just get smaller and smaller over time, as where the blacks might get bigger and bigger over time. I think you need a sample size on this, because if you just throw in everybody and get together, I mean, you're going to have to take into consideration which way the women lean. Like if the women just like the big dicks, then obviously evolution is going to go that way.
Right. Women are the sexual selectors overall.
Right.
Yes.
It's kind of like which medium gets chosen. Like it was porn that chose VCR instead of over beta. Same with
okay. This is 80s and 90s beyond my scope. I went from
porn is the one that chooses
some
what
Kazaa and DVDs to Blu-rays.
Over
and
time, people went from like 8-track fine to like tapes, and we had two competing tapes. You had VCR. I don't know what the exact name of that. And then you had beta, and beta was actually a better technology, right? But they got rid of it because porn chose to stick. Yeah, porn chose to stick with this medium, so they went
unbelievable.
With that. And then when they switched over to Blu-ray and DVDs and Laserdisc, you remember Laserdisc? That was another medium they tried, but nobody bought it because nobody put porn on it, so they weren't selling it. So they went with Blu-ray. Blu-ray, you get fucking. I'm not even kidding. This is how.
Did you work at like a greasy video store or something?
I did.
Of course you did. I was like, how do you know all this? Like, bro, I just was 12 or 13 one day, and I went online, and there was unlimited porn, and it ruined a generation, my generation. And now we're just trying to deprogram from that kind of thing.
Okay, so I bet you, and your generation would know better than I do, but the video players that the porn sites use are more likely to be the ones that the computers would have automatically installed in them.
Okay. So
do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, porn dictates what medium media chooses.
Well, it's sexual appetites, yeah, for sure. That is one of the most driving factors, probably more so than any movie, right?
Yeah,
people gotta come. They don't necessarily gotta watch the Marvel.
Like a new
movie.
example would be like Oculus, right? If two competing things, like if Oculus came out and then YouPorn came out with like a sweet headset that fucking did video games and porn, they would go with that one. Like whichever one could do porn better on the headsets, that's the one they'll go with, and that it's time tested and true. Tried, tested, and true. Sorry. Whichever people like porn on, that's the one that fucking sells. Nobody likes talking about it. But
Well, I think just to wrap this into what we were talking about, how we're going against nature. Think about porn and how many impressions of different sexual positions and situations and activities that are being bombarded into your brain. That is initially over the last hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, since the beginning of our evolution. You're only going to have sex if you're the alpha male, right? And if you're a beta male, then you're going to be tending to the alpha male, and the alpha male is going to be recreating with like a harem of females. Now, as we evolved, we had religion and, civilization and societies that kind of withheld that polygamous mentality and biological inclination that strong males had as leaders, and women had to flock to that guy who had the power, who could get things done. And instead of having that kind of toxic social hierarchy that is more primitive, it became something that is more religiously inclined, like a man and a wife have their family and kids.
well, they've taken that away,
and
haven't they?
you
The
pair it off.
competition.
Now with this new pornography that's going on, you have all the beta men are being pushed towards pornography, where they're just all their sexual impulses are being fulfilled by this constant dopamine sucking and diminishing of your brain that is going on by you just giving in to your whims and getting your sexual biological inclination let out. The reason that we are alive and we are inclined to even survive as a species, to even be the best that we can be, is because we have to procreate. That is evolutionary biology and psychology, in a sense. And that is being usurped, it's being hijacked by these pornographers, by sending you increasingly more disgusting and depraved and hardcore pornography just jammed into your brain. It's going against nature, and all these men are going to check out, and the women are going to go towards the most genetically successful guys. So it's like a return to monkey, almost. We are returning to monk, where one alpha male is going to have all of the attention of the females, and all the betas are going to be at the side, picking the bugs.
It was well said, bud. You did a good little fucking rant there. You may want to clip that one, because it's true. If you're out there just fucking milking yourself at home, what's the point? Why would you bother going to compete with anybody? Why would you bother going through the embarrassment unless you have some sort of biological need to get out there and procreate? You don't. Like, otherwise you're just going to stay at home. If you learn how to service yourself at home, it's the same with anything. Anything can be said, like the middleman theory, right? Like, you always just buy your food. You don't grow it. Why? Because it's easier to buy it. You don't go out and to have to talk to women and court them. No, because it's easier just to buy it.
Right. Yeah, you're scared to talk to women. How much of a man are you really then?
I had a couple of guys that have worked for me in the past. Just for the nature of what I do, HVAC, you have to have a helper, right? Because it's a lot of work fucking carrying stuff in and out of houses. Some of the shit's too heavy. So I take them out afterwards for drinks and stuff like that. And they never seen, I'm a different generation, right? So when I see an attractive girl, I talk to her and make small talk, try and make them laugh. And like, it's almost inbred into you to do that, right? And they would say to me afterwards, like, I've never seen that before. How do you talk to women? I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Why wouldn't you? Like,
to be honest, I would say that, yeah, your generation does have that privilege.
Privilege.
I had to grow up with hardcore pornography at a moment's notice. So I think that there was some self-correction that need to be made. And this only happened because I was of, enough intellect and enough personal drive and self-reflection that I could correct these things when I saw that they were happening. Because the countercultural mentality of things that are going on, when you're growing up, you think that smoking weed and drinking and wanting to have sex is cool, but it's counterintuitive because you're not focusing on the self-improvement and growing your career and being a responsible person, which are the actual things that are going to build your self-confidence and self-esteem. Right?
During that era of teenage years and that's your build-up years, right? That's your forming years. And if you start doing drugs and beating off in those years when you could be using that energy and your testosterone and all that youth to be building yourself into something that...
Right. And it's not so much that you need to disinvolve yourself with all those scenes, because you go to parties, you can sleep with chicks and stuff, and you can develop that kind of thing.
Kids are going to be kids, right? They have fun, they experiment. It's just the overindulgence that people have been going through where it's constant,
And this is the epitome of what could happen to you if you go too far down that self-indulgent rabbit hole where you become an absolute degenerate. Now it says the line earlier today outside of New York City's mass vac sites for monkeypox in Brooklyn. Now let's see what kind of people are outside of here.
Well, that first guy's fucking stance should tell you.
This is what happens when you go against nature.
You get monkeypox? Man, you're tying this all in together, right?
Oh, yeah. When you're walking around with shit on your dick, you're bound to catch something. That's Andrew Dice Clay, 1980s.
Yeah, I got you.
Stand-up comedy from the 80s used to be kind of based in Redfield. They knew something back then during the AIDS crisis.
Dice has got to make a comeback.
Oh, yeah.
Has he got a social media? I got to check that out. I never thought about checking that
I think
out
he's still active, but I don't really know exactly what he's doing.
That guy had a fucking wicked character in the day.
Hey, he got canceled off of MTV, so that's pretty fucking based.
Jay Semp, I am the wingman of choice. Trust me on that. I
would trust Derek as my wingman. I think
we used to have plays to pick people up.
Misogynist, expert misogynist in his plays.
Don't give me that. Like, people have psychology of talking to somebody new in public. Do you know what I mean?
I think we could get into that in a second.
Sure.
Do you want to stay on for longer?
I'm not doing anything. I'll have another drink with you.
Okay, sweet. Well, I'm gonna play a song. I'm gonna take a leak real quick. And I wanted to get into Jordan B. Peterson, my new internet daddy, Andrew Tate, and it's all relevant to what we're talking about now: self-improvement, the state of conservatism, and leftists going against nature, and us trying to bring back the laws of nature, but trying to figure out how we pick ourselves up from the ashes of this, decaying society that we're going through, and how could we be the alphas, How could we be top monk? Because what do we have to gain with this society? How can we live fulfilling lives? These are all questions that we need to answer, that everybody wants answered.
Never, ever concern yourself about being top monk. You're your own monk. Be that way.
Oh, Sigma monk. Monk.
Honestly.
Well,
always.
Well, you don't have to that's part of being alpha, is not comparing yourself to others and feeling inferior to others.
That can also be tied into the whole left-right paradigm, is that if you identify with either the left or right and don't think of any of your views as centered, then you're the problem. All of your views should be centered to you.
And that is a problem I have with Jordan Peterson, is that his takes are wrong in that he is talking about things that are interesting, but they're not nuanced enough to be correct. Like, it's just like, okay, so you just made an absolute about what you just said, and you're wrong, and I could prove why you're wrong and why you're shilling for Ben Shapiro, you little bitch. So we'll get into that in a second. I'm sure you know where I'm going with that. But there's a new song by Bryson Gray about Hunter Biden's laptop leaks, and I just want to share that with you, and then we'll be right back and get into some more.
How long is that? Because I'm going to let my dog out then.
It's going to be a couple minutes, and if not, I'll be back when you're here.
So. You're going to let Oz out.
All right. Okay. Be right back.
They gon' hate me for this one. Ayy, ayy, ayy. You know what's really wild? Got your own son calling you a pedophile. Why you getting called that by your own child? It say Pedro Peter every time the phone down. Wow, Hunter arguing with hookers while he wearing crack. Whoa, they call it a conspiracy, but I'm saying facts. Whoa, in the mansion up in Cali, but who pay for that? Whoa, the media gon' cover it up like he ain't get hacked. Whoa. Here we go again. If it was Trump Jr., it would be on CNN. This what happens when you rich, but you a slave to sin. This what happens when the devil knock you let him in. I don't care about who this offends. Buying crime family, they all belong in the pen. Buying loves minors, that's the real BLM. Call me what you want, but at least I ain't a damn. Wait, hold up, don't get mad at me. Am I tripping or is he in bed with Natalie? Why he recording all that? What's the strategy? If you do incest, you probably do bestiality. Hey, the president's son is a crackhead, but you the smartest guy, he know that's what your dad said. Is he the real president or a jack-led? Why is everyone that voted for your dad dead? Hey, you know what's really wild? Got your own son calling you a pedophile. Why you getting called that by your own child? It say Pedro Peter every time the phone down. Wow, Hunter arguing with hookers while he wearing crack. Whoa, they call it a conspiracy, but I'm saying facts. Whoa, in the mansion up in Cali, but who pay for that? Whoa, the media gon' cover it up like he ain't get hacked. Whoa, all the women in your phone, can we check the age? Wasn't you on Epstein Island, can we check the page? Hunter needs to be in prison, put him in the cage. I thought he was clean, seemed like he ain't changed his ways. And that ain't working for Charisma, how he get a raise? 10% for the big guy, who all getting paid? I still don't know why he recorded, is it blackmail? But do you really think any of them will go to jail? They satanic and all of them will go to hell. You a lame Hunter and your daddy lame as well. It's obvious, but if you blind and read it in braille, will the corruption never end? Only time will tell. President's son is a crackhead, but you the smartest guy, he know that's what your dad said. Is he the real president or a jack-led? Why is everyone that voted for your dad dead? Hey, you know what's really wild? Got your own son calling you a pedophile. Why you getting called that by your own child? It say Pedro Peter every time the phone down. Wow, Hunter arguing with hookers while he wearing crack. Whoa, they call it a conspiracy, but I'm saying facts. Whoa, in the mansion up in Cali, but who pay for that? Whoa, the media gon' cover it up like he ain't get hacked. Whoa.
Banging fucking song. All right, I'm back now. See what people are saying in the chat. Here to help spread the light, 420 said, I don't know if smoking and drinking has to be an issue in general. It used to be the average diet of the real men who built the modern world. Interesting concept. But I think, like all modern food, Bud Light, with the they, them, and he, him pronouns, just like any other modern beer you find in the beer store, is going to have all the carcinogenic and toxic elements that we should really get off of. I think they really had something else back then. And, you know, smoking cigarettes, come on, is that really a good thing for you to be doing? You're going to get lung cancer. Probably tobacco pipe smoking, if you do it within moderation. I've heard some great arguments for why that can be great. But no, I think being clear-minded is much better, to be honest. You know, this stuff can kind of hype you up. It hypes me up to do a stream and to be more extrovertive. But if you could do it without it, then even better. You know, it is what it is. We all need some help sometimes. We all need a mood booster.
Edgy D.
See what's going on in the entropy chat. Trisha's saying, yep, a smoke and a coffee gets me rolling in the morning. Yeah, I mean, the slaves be munching on them leaves with the coca in it. So
Well, it depends on who you are. You want a cigarette and a coffee, a bong and a blitz?
Yeah,
smoke and a
be
pancake,
honest
whatever
with
you fucking
yourself. Be honest with yourself, and if the drugs or the chemicals, the food that you're intaking aren't doing what you want to do, you have nobody to blame but yourself if you just keep on doing the same thing over and over again, right? You gotta be honest with yourself.
Smoke
Is
and a
that what you want?
pancake.
Is it worth Is it worth it? Then go for it. Right. Well, Jordan B. Peterson.
If you want something you've never had before, you got to be willing to do something you've never done before.
Okay. Yeah, you got to step out of your comfort zone for sure.
That's it. Life begins at the end of your comfort zone.
Now, back in 2016, when I first started making YouTube videos and stuff, I started getting red pilled on like, libertarian, conservative, cultural war issues.
How old were you then?
I was about 24, I think. 23, 24. I just graduated university, and I was looking for stuff to make content about, right? And that's exactly when Trump happened. And Jordan Peterson was a big name that came out. That was my first highly viewed video. I made a video about him, how awesome he was for fighting back against the SJWs, trying to force their pronouns upon people with Bill C-16, right?
Yeah.
So he became like a superstar overnight with that, right?
He did.
And to me, he could do no wrong at that point. But I didn't understand the greater landscape of free speech and what is actually the forbidden topics. So I thought he was like the epitome of it at the time. But as time went on, I saw how he would fail and flounder upon these principles, which he's so deeply ingrained himself as like the father of free speech, right?
Not the failing flounder fucking.
The flounder and flailing and yeah. So Jordan B. Peterson, he's the guy who's supposed to be the master of free speech, right? But in 2017, there was a free speech conference that was supposed to involve him, a few other people, and Faith Goldie. But this was right after Charlottesville, when Faith Goldie went on a podcast with a bunch of the Charlottesville attendees. And then when she got back, she no longer had a spot on the panel.
That was enough to kill her, eh? Like, that was just that fucking...
Jordan Peterson had the most clout, he had the most power, so it was basically his word would have been able to save her or destroy her.
Yeah.
And he threw her under the bus.
Bit of a
Why?
cunt.
Because he was given privilege by the system to be the controlled opposition free speech guy. And basically, Faith Goldie actually used her free speech. She free associated with people who me and you probably don't agree with. We probably think they're wig nats or they're too extreme for us. They like openly say the N-word sometimes or something. Either way, she went on their podcast. She didn't do that herself. She was just there. And then Jordan Peterson, his critique and his justification for throwing her under the bus was she should have challenged them more and asked them at least 3 tough questions. What?
Yeah, that was pretty gay.
Like, are you serious? Like, what 3? Like,
let's be honest,
why do you say things I don't like? Like, how gay do you have to be to
Faith Goldie was about your age or a little bit younger when that happened to her.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, it was a fucking young part of her career. She may come off to everybody as like a fucking 30-year-old know-it-all, but that was not who it was behind the camera. When she
even
was the one,
if that wasn't even really other than if she's trying to be a careerist, that wasn't really a misstep. You can free associate with who you want. What you say matters more than what podcast you are on. And Jordan Peterson threw under the bus for that simply because the system does not actually want those free associations. And it's just something they weren't going to have. And Jordan Peterson knew it. He knew what he was doing was wrong, I believe. And he just let it happen. This is the fake free speech, the controlled opposition. And then going forward, now he's joined up with Daily Wire Plus, and we'll be looking at that to it in a second. I want to show you this video that he did recently. So Jordan Peterson, for like a year or two, he went off the map because he went into his Russian coma where he got addicted to benzos. You know, the guy who's telling you to clean your room, and he goes into a coma for like a year or two or whatever he did, and he comes back very slowly but surely. And and now he's like some kind of super villain in the way he talks. And I'm just thinking about this, like, I once thought this guy was like the self-improvement guru. Like, I bought his self-authoring program and I started writing all the shit into it, like plugging it in, trying to see where I would be in 5-10 years from now if I didn't follow through with it. But I gave up on it because a lot of that time and energy, there's so much time and energy you wanted you to spend into that I could have just actually done the things I should be doing. And then I would be a lot further than going through his whole convoluted self-improvement program. And then when he dropped his 12 Rules for Life book, I was still on board with Peterson. And I thought, this is going to be the self-improvement book to end all others. Like, this is going to be the best. I started listening to the audiobook for hours, and it's just fucking... It's just fluff. The 12 points aren't even really coherent. They don't add up to anything greater, really. And it's just filled with personal anecdotes and stories that, you know, maybe on their own are pretty good, but this is not the definitive self-improvement book. This is just pure hype, pure controlled opposition hype.
I never found a need to buy his book, and I mean, I like books. I like ones that have to do with Canada specifically and Canadian scholars, I guess you could say. But I didn't feel a need to buy Jordan Peterson's book because I grew up with a dad.
That's really funny.
No,
I do think that his message is good for normies who are coming out of that. And maybe it's not even that you had a dad that was bad. Maybe your dad, you know what was I mean? Like... No, I get exactly what you're saying. And it makes me think of this one situation where, oh my God, I should pull this up. This is hilarious. So Jordan Peterson...
By the way, during your entire speech on Jordan Peterson, the chat took notice of Ozzy just running a train on the pillow behind me.
He's the real alpha in this situation. He's getting his nut off. That's nature taking its course.
Not without his own ass beatings, though. Like, Ozzy takes beatings trying to be the alpha in the room. Trust me.
So
he's not always the alpha, but he fucking
the white noise
tries to be.
And the reason that I was speaking forcefully, let's say, or perhaps even somewhat.
Well, sorry. I'm gonna get this. Here, can you see that?
And the reason that I was
there, you go,
speaking forcefully, let's say, or perhaps even somewhat.
So what happens here? He's at, like, this is in the prime of his career. Some guy just rushes the stage and is freaking out, like, okay, is this showing? It's just showing a white screen.
Just seeing the white screen, yeah.
Don't worry, I'll get it right. Zoom meeting. There we go. There we go.
Basement there. All right.
So Jordan Peterson, look at how sold this is in his prime before his Russian coma.
By the end was because not only was the white noise generator.
My name is David Limbauchu. I'm unwell. I need help. I need help. I just wanted to meet you. I'm unwell. I called
I hope that you.
And I need help.
Find the help.
He's unwell. He rushes the stage.
I want to know him better.
And I feel like this is the kind of... this is a symptom of Jordan Peterson's self-improvement tips. Is that he comes off as a larger-than-life figure, giving all these self-improvement tips. He seems like the guru, and that you just need to be smart enough to understand and take in his teachings. But well, really, when you listen to it, it's just like a lot of common self-improvement techniques, but
he's the
obfuscation and like trumped up language of like, I am the bloody intellectual, and then you get confused people like that.
You know what he is? He's the Americanized Deepak Chopra. He
okay.
Do you know who that is? Deepak Chopra. He was a guy that just liked to use quantum
Exactly.
in all of his sentences. And somebody, an actual quantum physicist, came up and talked to him, and they're like, "Okay, he's just like incoherently using these words that make no sense. Like it's
right.
like it doesn't make any fucking sense." But I could see that. That just comes with fandom. Help the guy out too. If he had the fucking means to come up on stage, get him the help he needs.
Right. Okay.
Like,
yeah. But it's just things like that where this guy, he's been propped up by the mainstream to be larger than life. And he does have some good self-improvement and evolutionary psychological takes. Like the lobster thing. That makes sense. Like that is a good metaphor and a good like example of evolutionary biology and psychology and how it applies to us. Like if you keep getting beaten down, you will eventually find yourself on the bottom of the pack, and then you have to like dig yourself up from that to be, you know, at least somewhere where you feel like you belong in the lobster hierarchy.
It's just
right?
like the song, right? Crabs in a bucket.
Exactly. Yeah, that is great. Evolutionary psychology, biology, and YouTube is filled with clips of him talking about this stuff. There's no shortage of good Jordan Peterson clips. But then it just keeps going. Like, hi, all. This is one of... now this is what he's like. And it's getting a lot of views now, still. Like, he's still very popular. So, okay, that was my notes there.
I didn't see your notes.
Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna share it to the right screen.
Everybody likes to shit on the guy because he's an easy target, but like he has done some good. I can't deny that. Like, I don't think anybody can. People come up to him in the street and tell him about how his books changed their lives. So if he can connect with people other than me and they find value in that, then really I can't.
I do agree with that. I do agree with that, but I also do think it lends a lot to that kind of schizo kind of personality where that guy's running on stage. He doesn't know exactly what to do because Jordan Peterson appears larger than life, but he's not actually giving good answers.
That can happen to anybody though.
Right.
Like it happens to fucking Cardi B. It happens to fucking probably more often to somebody like that. Like, help me. You're the person, you're my God. You're the person I watch on my screen all the time. I could see that happening.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Well, this is one of his newer videos that caught my attention. A message to Muslims. So I'm just going to make sure I'm getting the... yeah, so just right from the... Hi, all. Right from the beginning, that just makes me fucking die, the way he opens it.
He leans in, to fucking...
Hi, y'all.
To put my hand on my knee and get serious when we're talking about this. But say y'all so you understand that I'm friendly about how serious I am.
There's something going on there.
Oh,
maybe
somebody coached him on his body posture on how to approach this fucking...
It seems weird, and it seems like almost robotic. Like he's also trying to be like Red Skull.
You know what it reminds me of?
Which is what they said he was like
It's
before.
like one of those old videos where somebody comes to introduce a story, like how Unsolved Mysteries are like, as soon as they put the camera on him, he leans in and does a pose. Listen. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Like one of those fucking like an instructional video that you used to get when you got a job at Wendy's in high school or something like that. Like they'd sit you in the back with a VCR and say, "Okay, watch this video." And there's some dude in a cowboy hat that made the Wendy's video in Texas. Makes no fucking sense to you. He's like, "Hey, y'all, I'm gonna tell you about how to flip these burgers." And we need to keep these burgers at a 365-degree temperature. Or, you know,
it does seem there does seem something corporate and off about it. In a sense.
It's the Captain America fucking inspirational video.
And this is after he joins
the Shield.
It's after he joins Daily Wire Plus too. That he's doing these like higher quality, you know, cinematic kind of things that make him look like a villain. It's really weird. But this is his message to Muslims. Listen to this.
Forgive my presumption, if you would. It is time for those of you in the Muslim world to stop fighting among yourselves, you Shiites and Sunnis, and also time to stop regarding the Christians, and even more specifically, the Jews, as your enemies. Why? Not least because you have the enemy located in the wrong place. First,
What a
The best
cunt.
place to find Satan,
Ugh.
let's say, is within.
The best place to find Satan is from within. So right off the bat, from here, from like where we started to now, he's condescending his Muslim viewers, I guess, to say that they're the ones who are fighting everyone. And like, I understand that, yeah, that I would agree with that in some respects too, but like, geez, is it only the Muslims? And he frames Muslims as always the aggressors, even fighting in amongst themselves.
Well,
and that, like, you better be nice most of all to the Jews, especially because they're in the wrong place, according to you. And it's like, you little shit. Israel is definitely fucking with Palestine, so they definitely
when it comes down, right, there's no aggressor there, but when it comes down to it, they're JBP, or peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You just so happen to have the same initials. I think you just have to ask him about the Talmud, and let's do a fucking
and then
equal
you'll
video.
listen to him shriek. Have you ever heard him talk about, I think it was something about Jayish power or influence? And then he said, literally, you can't talk about that or else you'll get killed. He literally said that.
I didn't hear that. You got to pull that up. I've never seen that.
Oh, man.
Molyneux does the same thing, though. He just breaks it down to, well, everybody's, free to work in the same, so long as it's the free market, then everybody can work on their own. That's his answer to everything, I guess. Is the market really free, though?
I can't find that specific video, but he definitely implies that there's certain that you can't talk about.
What a weird thing to do. Tell me he did this after he joined Daily
No,
Wire.
this was a long time ago. And there's also the time where, you know, how he shills for the book, or it's not shilling, but he promotes the book, The Gulag Archipelago by Alexander Solzhenitsyn. And it's just about how communism and the Gulag system there was like a devastating threat to humanity. It was horrible. It was like one of the biggest tragedies alongside Nazism and the Holocaust. And then, like, he promotes this book very heavily and in his lectures. And then late into his life, Alexander Solzhenitsyn wrote a book called 200 Years Later, where he implicated very strongly that the Bolsheviks were of a certain religious and ethnic persuasion, and that ethnic hatred that they had against Christian white Russians was a huge factor in the Holodomor and like the greater, you know, communist exterminations that went on. And this guy paraphrased this in his question at one of JPB's huge lectures. You haven't seen this? Have you seen this? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I watched parts of it. I'm just letting you give her. It's better for the context of everything.
Yeah, Jordan Peterson. I don't know. So I can just show you this. I've have they? No. He says, I can't
do it.
I can't do it. Yeah.
I just
okay.
can't do it.
On the book by Soldier.
Which is an admission on its own, right?
Right. So basically, just to sum this video up, he like kind of condescends to Muslims and implies that they have to shape up. And what he does there at the end of that clip that I played was say, he says that the greatest Satan is within yourself. So he's trying to tell people that if they have any animosity towards another group for whatever reason, then they need to look within themselves and see what's wrong with themselves. But is he telling that? Is he saying message to Jews? Is he saying message to Zionists that they need to do that? No. So it's like a lie by omission, using his huge platform to obfuscate the truth. And yes, people should look within themselves to see if there is a great Satan within themselves. But he's only telling one group to do it and implying that the onus is completely on them to do that.
Yeah,
and
that is fucked up.
Yeah, so it's these sleight of hands that he always does that is just like, yes, you've said a lot of great things, and yes, we do need to take responsibility, but you're just obfuscating things for your masters who are giving you this privilege to be in this spot that you're in. Now, let's see how he goes about dealing with that tough question that we were just talking about.
I have a book by Solzhenitsyn
I'd like to give you.
Thank you. It's 200 Years Together.
200 Years Together is the book.
Started translating it into English and they put it online. I included all the chapters that they've translated so far. As a Jewish American, I think this book is very important for everyone to read. In the book, Solzhenitsyn documents the overrepresentation of Jews.
So in the book, Solzhenitsyn documents the overrepresentation of Jewish individuals
in the NKVD and in Bolshevik leadership.
In the Bolshevik leadership.
He claims that the ethnic hatred these individuals had for Christians played a role in the Holodomor. Jewish individuals had faced persecution in Ukraine prior to the Bolsheviks' rise to power. These individuals exacted their revenge on the Christian Ukrainian population. The result was the death of 4 million Christians. The line of good and evil cuts through the heart of every human. One cannot simply say a given ethnic group is evil. Every individual must struggle with the good and the evil in their own hearts. That being said, it is important to understand what motivates groups to commit atrocities against other groups, because the previous century has been filled with groups killing other groups. Like the Bolsheviks, Jewish individuals are overrepresented in the ownership and senior staffing.
And then people start getting mad once they realize, like, you know, there's certain people making noise in the crowd.
I got a question. It'll take 1 second. So just like the Bolsheviks, Jewish individuals are overrepresented in the ownership and senior staffing of the U.S. news media. The news media also is inexplicably hostile towards Russia.
And this was from several years ago, and now look what's happened with Russia.
Yeah. The current warmongering against Russian Christians is in any way motivated by the same ethnic hatred that motivated the Holodomor. We must face that truth honestly. So here's my question. If Jewish individuals hated Christian Ukrainians enough to starve millions of them to death, could the same thing happen today? Could Jewish individuals use their position of power to seek out revenge against places like Europe and Russia that have a history of expelling Jews? Thank you again for your work.
His head is down.
Just remember Rule 9, you know, it's like...
Remember Rule 9, assume people might know something you don't.
Maybe there's something that you don't know about, you know? And I am trying to just speak the truth.
This is what resulted in his Russian benzo coma. I'm telling you.
No, I don't know if it's the same thing, but I mean,
before this happened, he was like, I gotta be very careful in what I say, or I'm gonna be shut down. Like, he was talking like that before. And
he's the new David Irving. Is that?
First of all, I have to read this book, and I do want to read the book, so thank you for giving me the book.
You're welcome.
Man, this is intense, isn't it?
I can't do it.
That's okay.
I can't do it. And then he never does it. He never gets back to it. That's the problem. Is that he's not
that though. Like,
I do respect that he said he can't do it, but he never got back to it. And then when he gets back to it, like there was something about Jewish power that he responded to eventually, and he gave some like bullshit thing where it's like all of a sudden race and IQ matters, and it's the sole reason why they're in charge. But he never shills for race and IQ otherwise, in the sense that it's important for why we shouldn't get overrun by third world countries. So it's just completely incoherent.
What type of conversations we would be having this day if people like Jordan Peterson was allowed to talk to someone like Stefan Molyneux on an open public forum and see where the audience wants the conversation to go.
Oh, if there was free speech that actually...
You know what I mean? Like, that would actually
We wouldn't
bring
be
us
in this
somewhere to
situation at all. Like, we wouldn't even be edgy. We'd just be, like, the forebearers of the truth, in a sense. And there would be people who are more competent than us taking
that
the reins,
honestly
to be honest.
would be, I would run for office on that principle alone. And I've always tried to express that principle that, like, I wish we need the same kind of funding that goes into the CBC should be put into free speech fucking
Well, that's not going to happen because
I
we'll
know,
never...
but like, let me fucking spit my platform out here, right? Like, we're just gonna run on, like, all the money that goes to the CBC, we're gonna go on a pyramid style tournament for everybody to get into these discussions until you get up to the top of the pyramid to have like that ultimate free speech discussion. All of it available online, except for that you have to pay-per-view the last one when they get together. Not pay-per-view, but I mean, I don't want it to cost the taxpayer too much. If people want to see it, you got to pay for it, right? On all different kind of topics. It should be blockchain where you could vote for it, almost like an American Idol sort of format.
Well, maybe if there's more decentralized internet and decentralized, some kind of real internet free speech democracy, that would be great. But
really
the
is
infrastructure
a race right now, eh? Like, because the internet's way ahead of what censorship is.
Right.
It is right now. Like, the distractions are so great right now that people aren't paying attention, because with the internet, we're still able to have these conversations. They're pretty good at the censorship. They're catching up. They're fucking...
It's good and then it's bad. There's a lot of good with a lot of bad. Now, I just want to show you an example of the classic bad Jordan B. Peterson take. Every one of his fucking videos is like that, like this, and I have friends who are like, they're as based in red pill as me and you, but they're like, oh no, but he does have some great things, and I'm like, why? No, every video he does is infuriating.
Before you drop this video, can I give a prediction with fucking JBP? With
Sure.
the video you just showed me, it just popped into my head that one day he's like, you know what? You know how I could Kermit the Frog here coming to you live. You know how I could serve the community the best is that by building the biggest platform possible, getting the longest reach I can, and then telling everybody the answers they really want to know, and just be a martyr to free speech. Maybe that be his legacy. Maybe that's what he's fucking going for.
He's not gonna be. He's going to shill with Ben Shapiro and Dennis Prager. He's washed, man.
But if you were to try and get the biggest, I know I'm reaching here. Don't get me wrong. But if you wanted to get the biggest free speech platform possible, because if you try and spit these facts out early, you just get shut down. You get kicked off everywhere. But he's got an opportunity here.
Well, okay, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying now. And he does, because he's been presented with these questions where he must know that he's fumbling the ball when he reacts like that.
He's working on it somewhere back there. Don't get me wrong. It's a
he's
different
not
approach
working
than what
on it.
Owen
I think
Benjamin
he's
is doing, because I respect Owen Benjamin's approach a lot more. I do. Like, the guy just full force, fucking straight truth.
He's got his daughter changing his fucking diapers, man. He's washed. I have no hope for this guy.
None, eh?
Maybe
it'd be awesome if he pulled the martyr, though. It'd be awesome.
Yes, it would be. It would be. But this is like the classic JPB take. And the title of this, of course, this is repurposed content, because as you'll see in his Daily Wire Plus announcement that he's a capitalist and this is what he loves doing. He's an unashamed capitalist. And it's like, okay, bud, that's not what you should be saying if you're a truth seeker, because a truth seekers go for something beyond what just the money is going to dictate for them. Mr. Truth Seeker. What do you want?
Well,
good goy. Here's some more money for your truth seeking, goy. Like, that's not fucking real truth seeking. I'm sorry.
No, but it's also kind of a tale of the tape, right? You understand where he's coming from. He's like, yeah, I'm here to make money. I
understand where he's coming from, but as a truth seeker, it doesn't add up.
There's no money in truth seeking.
Yes. Okay, so let's see what he says. It
him
says
saying
collect.
that he's a capitalist is kind of an admission to not being a truth seeker.
Yes, an unashamed capitalist. I could see being a capitalist, but you can't be an unashamed capitalist with Ben Shapiro. I'm sorry. That doesn't work out. That doesn't check out. So it says collectivists don't believe in free speech because they don't believe in individuals. So let's see what he says here.
The thing about the collectivist types at the universities, they're very interested in shutting down free speech. But you have to understand that it's not because they oppose the views of the people that they're trying to shut down. But it's because they don't believe that there's such a thing as free speech, because they don't believe that there's such a thing as individuals. They believe that you're just the avatar of your group. You were born in a certain hierarchy of identity, and that hierarchy of identity has conditioned every single thing you say. So you might think that you're expressing your opinion, but if you're a postmodernist, you don't have an opinion because there isn't a you. And so the debate on campuses isn't about who should speak and who shouldn't speak. The battleground for the postmodernists is nothing but identity groups at war with one another for dominance. This war is way deeper than you think. It's not who should speak. It's whether there is such a thing as free speech. You see, the thing about...
Yes, so right there, just the title alone, collectivists don't believe in free speech because they don't believe in individuals. There's nothing inherent about a collectivist that doesn't believe in free speech. You have to have a collective in order to enforce free speech. So what I've seen largely with this, the controlled opposition, conservative, free speech movement is that it's collectivism versus individualism. And they try to paint everybody on the far left and the far right as being part of collectivists who are essentially against free speech. Well, I'm sorry, but you're the one who is pushing out the people on the far right from free speech. And you're begging the people on the left to have debates with you, and they don't want it. The people on the far right do want to have debates with you, but you're not letting them. You're pushing them out. And I'll give you a perfect example. Dr. Ricardo Duchesne has a theory about how multicultural rights in Canada should be a thing. This is a guy who got expelled from University of New Brunswick, and Jordan Peterson has said nothing to this guy. This happened in 2019. He has said nothing to help this guy. This guy has a very good, more sources than this guy has in his 12 rules for life bullshit with all his personal antidotes. Dr. Ricardo Duchesne explains how, the majority European population of Canada should have their own specific rights, just like every other racial group, however they want to construct themselves, should have rights. Or they should have their own collective strategy. And only once you realize that people are different, that their struggles are valid, their group identities are valid, doesn't mean that you have to put up with this anti-white hatred like the government wants you to do. Like, you just have to realize that, yes, we are different in many ways. We are the same in many ways. So, yes, we should try to come together, but we should also realize that it's like bringing a knife to a gunfight. White people are supposed to say, no individualism, no collectivism. Meanwhile, every other group is just like, no more white people for this job. No more white people. White people get lower test scores on this test. White people are not going to be admitted to this college anymore until more people of color or anybody but white people are admitted here.
Well, it's funny that the very speech that the very speech that we've been talking about, if it was uninhibited, would be able to bring up these topics and they would become a solution to them. And they wouldn't be the extreme solutions that everybody is so fucking afraid of, where it'd be like, oh, they want to have a genocide.
Exactly. And he's playing into that. He's playing into that. He's saying the far, far left and what he calls the far, far right are the same thing. And it's like, no, you have to have nuance. It doesn't have to all be about group identity, but you have to understand that people want to be of each other, like they want to be with their own kind to some extent. And he's specifically denying that because ultimately he wants to deny it for white people too. So he's just trying to disarm. He's kicking white people while they're down, and then saying he's kicking us while we're down, and then saying, no, don't worry, I got it. I got this. Identity politics is bullshit. And meanwhile, everyone's calling him a Nazi and laughing at him because he sounds like a cartoonish villain. It's fucking absolutely ridiculous.
You just need somebody to be able to say this in a different context. Like, we all want whatever's best for Canadian society, right? Affirmative action is not good for Canadian society. Period. Let's say that you found a demographic that moved to Canada. If we didn't come up with the Raptors, and let's say the fucking really athletic black people in Toronto, we found out they were really good at being firemen. Every fucking test they put them up into, we just did, you know what? These guys run the hoses faster. They climb the ladders faster. They run in there faster and braver without a fucking thought of their own life, faster and better than anybody else. If they're throwing around those hoses like the fucking whole Harlem Globetrotters, I want them in every fucking firefighting station in the fucking country. I want to have more black people immigrating into this country because they're the best fucking firemen we've ever seen, and no life has been lost in a fire since we started bringing in.
But you would want to make a calculated decision based on what they're offering and what they're detracting, right?
You know what I'm trying to get to? Like,
I know what you're getting at.
Played to each other's strengths, like, instead of forcing diversity, if we found that, like, they've done studies on this with men and women and what they gravitate towards when they're left to their own devices to choose what careers they go into. They lean towards nursing and more attentive fields.
So here's the problem, is that Jordan Peterson would agree with you, and he'd say, yes, yes, yes. But then you look at reality and what's happening because we don't have the power. And then you say, okay, so we got to band together to stop anti-white hate. We got to stop anti-white discrimination. And it'll be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And it starts to get into that area where he thinks that you are banding together under identity politics all of a sudden, even though all the identity politics are literally, it's not necessarily meritocracy. They're targeting white people. It's very explicit.
Yeah, it's very obvious, right? Like,
right? So we got to make that distinction. I don't mean to be
putting people into categories by any means, but I mean, if you notice a distinct difference on how people work, why not use to the advantage instead of trying to go against it and force it to slow everything down to try and make everything equal? You know what I mean? Like, they wouldn't do that on a franchise basketball team. If you found out that these guys played better, right. I'm not going to force you to take a bunch of Asians and Indian dudes on your fucking basketball team just to fulfill a fucking diversity quota. You know what
the thing is, we're not doing that. We're not saying that white people should get a head up. We're not white supremacists. These are like their own. These are like multiculturalist supremacists in a way. We are not saying that. We're just saying give us a fair shake and just know that we're being discriminated against. And Jordan Peterson, in a roundabout way, like, it's funny with these guys because they'll give you like little tidbits where they're like, yes, you are being discriminated against, but they won't let you take it to the logical conclusion where you have to tell people, okay, well, let's get everyone together to tell them to stop discriminating against white people. That's what they're going after with BIPOC. Let's say it out in the open. Let's stop their racist discrimination. Let's stop their hate. Let's stop it. And then people like Jordan Peterson will come in and be like, well, collectivism versus individualism. And then the guy will rush the stage and be like, Jordan Peterson, you stop. Please help me. please, I don't want to kill myself. And it's like, oh, what a mess we have here. Oh,
Guys
my
can
goodness.
organize themselves so much easier than anybody gives them credit for. If it wasn't for the media and politicians and bureaucracy getting in between everybody, you just have to look at the basketball courts going across America. You can go to a basketball court at fucking 7 o'clock every night and be able to sit there and pick out your teams. No problem. Let's get a game going. Do you know what I mean? It happens fast. People can put things together and get a move on when they're put to the test and you want to get an objective done. There's so much bureaucracy and bullshit and middlemen and people trying to get sole source and single source contracts just so they can get paid without having to fucking do anything, that our fucking government is inefficient for us anymore. I don't know. I went off on a bit of a tangent there, but
that's fine. Well, I want to show you who my new internet daddy is now that Jordan Peterson failed us. You know what I say? Like Jordan Peterson, he's a conservative guy. He raised a daughter, Michaela Peterson, who's in the limelight, and she's a celebrity in and of herself. But while Jordan was slamming back the benzos and going into his coma in Russia for like a year, Michaela left her husband and went around frolicking in places as sketchy as Romania. And we could see that she found new friends there. Possibly new daddy-like figures.
You know what's funny is I saw fucking Michaela Peterson. She has this new haircut with bangs. I follow her on Instagram.
Okay.
And there was also this ad going by on Facebook every so often where this chick with bangs had really, really fucked up teeth. And every time I saw those bangs, because it was the same hair color, I'm like, ugh, Michaela, what the fuck? Every time I...
You saw her? Yeah, she has a bunch of different looks. She's a woman who likes to use her looks, just like Lauren Southern, with all her multiple facial injections and whatnot. And
I don't think Michaela has put out anything that's been overly trashy, has she?
Well, I can tell you one thing she's done. She has a thing called the Carnivore Club or the Lion Diet Club, where she pays people, I'll call them simps, to pay like $1,000 a year to be part of a glorified Facebook chat where they all talk about their carnivore and all meat diet.
Okay, that's something I can't identify with at all.
Now, we have like friends. We have like friends like Travis Sherwood, right?
I see Greg's in the chat there. He's trying to claim name to being your new daddy.
Greg, Edgy's new daddy arcade. Okay. Well, you know, I've always wanted a country daddy, but I don't know.
He'll treat you right.
He'll treat me right.
Yeah.
Will he give me the parental guidance that Jordan Peterson could never get me, because Jordan Peterson didn't know who was responsible for the Bolshevik Revolution, and it's left this hole in my heart.
He'll be soft but stern, that's for sure. Feel of it like yellow. It'll be your own personal Yellowstone, like the Son of Plaid, but different. Send him an invite if he's fucking sitting around not doing anything.
Well, we'll see what Greg says in the chat. I would love to have him on. That would be intense, but I don't see Greg on many streams. So we'll see what he says in the
Throw a cowboy hat on, fucking splash some water on your face and get on her. I know he's sitting at his desk right now working probably. What time is it?
Right.
11:30 here,
Right.
so it's gonna be 9:30 there. Yeah, he's still working.
But anyways, Michaela Peterson, when she said, he's in bed. Okay.
Perfect.
So Michaela Peterson, while her father is in a Russian benzo coma, she's leaving her husband to go frolic off to Romania with none other than Andrew Tate, aka Tate Speech, the championship boxer. Him and his brother, Andrew Tate,
championship kickboxer.
Yeah, he has another brother with the last name Tate, and like this guy kicks ass boxing, and he owns his own cam girl business that he has eventually made millions off of, and now he is the expert manosphere red-pilled right-wing grifter. But
it looks like he's flexing right there, like he's holding his arm, like, look at me, I'm taking the fucking Trent Dabs' stand. It looks like the fucking cover of a porno.
Well, exactly, and I'll show you what else this means. Okay, so this is how he posted it. That's just the picture. So basically, Andrew Tate sent her out an invite, said, "I'll show you around Romania, babe. Come on, hang out with me." And she took up the offer. And this is what he posts online. She said she liked top quality meat. And he's stroking it in that other picture, as you know. Right?
That's just being cheeky. That's funny.
That's being cheeky. Yeah, so but she is the meat queen, right? The Line Diet Club. She has a grift going on with her Line Diet Club.
That's a good line.
And then she goes, "You're such a brat. It's unbelievable." But also, this guy runs a series of webcam girls on like an infrastructure of websites that he gave the same infrastructure to Michaela Peterson so she could run her Lion Diet Club for the carnivore diet for like something like over $1,000 a year for all her simps.
Do you remember I was talking about earlier in the stream about porn picking the medium?
And yes, Andrew Tate is a perfect example of porn winning the medium of people's attention. And then, of course, she goes...
spread your message of choice.
Yeah, of course, she goes to him for the proper infrastructure. Now, I can't totally blame her because I do like Andrew Tate. And I think, like, this guy's fucking jokes. He's hilarious. And honestly, where is Jordan Peterson? He didn't clean his room. He didn't wash his butthole, bucko. And now he's in a Russian coma, and his daughter is off cheating with this fucking Romanian or like this expat over to Romania who's there because he's a fucking boss and he's trying to evade the government. Now,
yeah, that was pretty hardcore.
Let's check out my new internet daddy, Andrew Tate. Now, I'm not just bringing up this guy because like, oh, funny picture, and he's also an e-celeb. I don't know if you know, but this guy is taking over the internet. If you go on TikTok, if you follow anything to do with like male self-help guru or anything to do with any, even if it's like popular stuff, that's not necessarily even self-help, you will find Andrew Tate clips all over YouTube. He's dominating all the top podcasts. Everybody wants him as a guest. Even though just a month ago he got raided and he's pressed with charges right now for human trafficking. There are women with his name branded on him with tattoos. There's a video of him slapping around a chick in front of a webcam saying, "You do what I say," but apparently it's role-playing. So this is a controversial guy. He's not funded by anybody. He's not funded by Ben Shapiro and Daily Wire. He is a fucking... like maverick of the internet, and people
Romania, that's funny.
So this is a video that I want to show you to give you the Andrew Tate experience.
What do you need?
You know, Dave Portnoy of Barstool Sports,
Yeah.
so-called edgy guy of the internet who's like, I'm the guy who's politically incorrect, even though he's a fucking little bitch, and you know, simping for the mainstream while pretending to be against it. But this is him going against Andrew Tate on the subject of fuck you money. I think this is really important to show the difference between somebody like Jordan Peterson, who's an industry cuck, and I'm not saying that like, oh, you have to talk about Jews or something in order to be like the guy. That's not what I'm saying.
Jews?
Yeah.
I thought we were talking about Jays.
Like the Blue Jays, the Toronto Blue Jays. That's what I actually meant, okay? But yeah, you don't have to talk about that kind of stuff. You just have to not lie about things, to be honest, and scapegoat Muslims and do all these weird Christian Zionist bullshit things. And you have to like stand up for your own personal sovereignty despite all of these weird conflated ideologies that the system is trying to push upon you within the controlled opposition sphere. And I think Andrew Tate, he breaks through all of that. And we'll see that here with him going against this guy who can't even imagine being an actual free man. So let's see what he has to say.
In the bank to say it's fuck you money.
You need a lot more than money to...
So what do you need in the bank to say fuck you money?
What do you need in the bank to say it's fuck you money?
You need a lot more than money to say fuck you money. That's the whole thing about it, right? Because fuck you money in and of itself isn't a real concept. The whole idea of fuck you money doesn't work if you're still being paid by the matrix, if you're still stuck inside of a contract and your words are controlled. There's a lot of people with a lot of money who can't say what they think. A lot of people with a lot of money who still have to take the injection they're told to take. A lot of people with a lot of money who can't stand up and say, no, that's wrong, I don't agree with this, because they're going to lose contracts, sponsorships, etc. So to say fuck you money, I mean, you have to have enough money to not ever work again, depending on how you earn money. Because I'm completely and utterly self-sufficient, I can't be canceled. So I think my fuck you money number is actually going to be lower than others because my money will never stop.
That made no sense.
You don't think so?
He doesn't understand.
If you have an international corporation.
He doesn't understand because he thinks that he's free because he couldn't conceive of going out beyond the matrix. This Dave Portnoy, Barstool Sports.
Because by definition, fuck you money would be you can say whatever you want, and if you get fired or you have contracts, it doesn't matter because you're sitting on a pile of like...
Well, that is a very difficult question to answer because it depends on your lifestyle, depends how you like to spend money, blah, blah, blah. I think
So
once
what's
you
your
have...
number?
Once you have 50M, then life's there's nothing else to buy. I mean, what are you going to buy? Like 50M is plenty of money. You could buy a stupid boat if you really wanted one, but you could also charter one. I mean, besides that, there's literally nothing to buy with that kind of money. I think once you're above 20M, life's around the same, personally. I think that once you get above 20M, you're just doing it for sport. So I think that's around fuck you money. But if I only had 20 million, I'd still be concerned about having an income of some sorts. And if my income was dependent on me agreeing with certain paradigms that the social system, the matrix tries to propagate, then it would be different, right? So it depends. It all depends on the individual. That's why I would say fuck you money. It's around 20. Having fuck you money is not enough. I have a fuck you. You have to have a fuck you life. You can't just have fuck you money. I'm sitting out here in Romania inside of a house with 20 armed guards outside with a tower and AR-15s. And I've got 10 passports and 55 bank accounts. And that's what you need to have fuck you money. You sit in America and have $20 million with one passport sitting in America thinking you have fuck you money. No, you don't. You say the wrong thing. You piss the government off. They're going to come in your house. They're going to fucking take the house you own. They're going to lock you up. You ain't got fuck you money for nothing. This whole thing's the whole paradigm's a lie. The government's the biggest mafia in the world. If you can't tell them to fuck off, you can't tell anyone to fuck off. So the whole idea of fuck you money is all skewed anyway. Like you have to be above the law in many different ways to truly have fuck you money. And you're not going to do that under one jurisdiction. It's not about being above the law. It is about being above the law. But the easiest way to become above the law is to be under lots of different jurisdictions. If you have 10 different passports, it's much harder to constrain you. During COVID, Americans, English people, whatever, were all stuck in their houses because they couldn't fly because of X rule. Well, if you have 10 passports, well, then you're not American on that day. I'd turn up to countries and they say you're not allowed because you're English. I'd say, okay, well then I'm Estonian. Estonians are allowed. Okay, I'm Romanian. Romanians are allowed in. Same guy, different passport. You have to have multiple passports. You have to be on multiple grids. The idea of living off grid is complete fallacy. You can't do that. You have to be on as many grids as possible. This is what you talk about fuck you money. The people with fuck you money don't even own anything. They own a share of an entity which owns things they can borrow. They have unlimited citizenships and passports. They have money out in the metaverse in the sky hidden all around the world. Fuck you money isn't about having money in your bank account in your name. If you still do that, you can't say fuck you to anybody. Point is the absolute, when you talk about fuck you money, to me, the idea of fuck you money is they told me to stay in my house because of X. I decided not to. I've gone outside. The police are now here. And I told them, fuck off, fuck you. That's fuck you money. And that takes more than just money. That's my point.
So this guy...
That was hard as fuck, dude. And it's so true.
A month ago, I just want to give a bit more pretext now that I've heard that before you say something. This guy... once again, got charged a month ago with human trafficking. I think it was in regards to his cam whore business, which I think it's been disproven. I'm not exactly sure. I hope that he's not, like, kidnapping people. I don't think that he's actually doing that. I think it's more so, you know, they're trying to get one up on him by turning these tricks that... I'm not saying that what he's done is good either, or moral in that sense, and even he would probably say that. He's not a perfect human being or anything by any stretch of the imagination. It's greasy, it's grimy, but at the same time...
You have to listen to what he's saying. I don't like the guy either. Don't get me wrong. He says a lot of greasy fucking shit. But listen to what he's saying. He's fucking right.
Right.
You don't have to like him to fucking say that he's right about it.
He's giving you the Epstein playbook on how to avoid persecution for so long. Except for he's not a fucking pedophile. So he could get, hopefully not.
Yeah.
But
no, a lot of the shit he's spitting out is truth. It's like, you want to live off grid? Living off grid. I like how he said
it's not
that.
Gonna stop you. They're gonna pull you in and they're gonna throw you in a hole. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. There
Like-
are guys like Calvin Ayers, the owner of what was it, Bowdog, and he had his own fucking fighting league and something like that. This guy was one of, like, if he ever landed in America, he was going to jail. But he'd fucking fight in Canada, down in South America, stuff like that. Never land inside. And if he did land inside the United States, it's an international airport where it's like an international jurisdiction. So it would just be a layover or something like that.
Right.
That's what he's talking about.
Well, I want to say one more thing about him. What he has going on, one of his grifts. So he's like a grift master. He has like the Andrew Tate Masterclass University where people sign up to make money. So he gives them all his all his content clips, and these people who sign up for his university, they pay like $50 a month. They're given the content, and they're told to repurpose it for different social medias and try to monetize it in some way. I don't know if they're giving kickbacks to him or not, but he is taken over the internet because his content is good. First of all, people love it. And all these channels like Tate Hub, Standout
Hang on,
TV.
let me get that straight. So he made a contest for people to distribute his content?
Successful Tate. No, it's not a contest. That's his masterclass website. Is like, you know how every guru or every grifter has their program.
Mm-hmm.
And his program is make money, be a fucking alpha male successful individual. Or it's even open for women. Be
Straight up,
successful,
he
successful
needs a beard.
monetarily. Well, whatever.
He needs a beard.
Basically, what he's doing is he has all these clips. So for his masterclass, he probably has a million and one different ways to make money, right? Online. It's about making money online to like supplement your income. But he has all of these clips that he has laid out for everybody to use, and then they make countless accounts, YouTube, TikTok. He's dominating TikTok. All these people just keep on making different accounts, repurposing his clips in different ways. They go completely viral because you listen to him. You could hear how charismatic he is. So he is dominating the internet.
You don't like him the first time you hear him. He's a cunt.
Yeah.
But I like how he fucking threw down a Jake Paul. I enjoyed that.
Well,
got another guy with money throwing it down and said, all right, well, fight me, motherfucker.
Yeah, he's challenging
I don't
Jake
have 50,
Paul.
But I got 3. So you're 3 against my 3. Let's make a fucking event. I like that. That was fucking cool.
Yeah. Jake Paul is going to have to answer to that eventually because his fame is growing. This guy is taking over the internet without any sponsorship help. He literally is an army of people who think his content is good.
He'll do well because he's like a Dan Bilzerian guy, but he's got a mouth, this guy. So like, but he needs to grow a beard. That's not working.
I don't think he can because I saw one video where he's shirtless in a lot of his new videos in his studio. He's jacked.
Stacked too. He's jacked.
And then the other guy is like, "Oh, why don't you have hair on your chest?" And he's like, did you shave your chest? And he's like, "No, I don't need to do that." So
I'm one of those guys too.
For me, look at me. I cannot grow a beard. I cannot grow hair on my chest.
Didn't need
Sorry,
to see
you
that.
you didn't need to see that. You didn't.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Double nips.
But you know what? I am of the Andrew Tate. Fuck you. Don't tell me to grow a beard. I'm more alpha than you, Derek. So fuck off.
If you edit this video, you gotta throw up some fucking blur marks over those things if you're gonna upload it somewhere else, because that's funny.
Oh, why? Because you're saying that I'm a woman? That my nipples need to be blurred?
No, it'd just be funny to have blur marks. It's just funny.
Okay. Well, as you can see here, what I was saying, I said Andrew Tate, and then you could see here, what are the channel names? Successful Tate, Tate Speech Daily, Tate Overflow, Tristan Tate Tube.
Suck a Tate.
Yeah, Suck a Tate. Tate Playboy, Tate Universe. These guys are probably actually making money monetizing these clips on YouTube too, or whatever social media platform. So This guy is giving people an actual way to make money off of his content, and he probably has other things that are better than the normal grifters, internet money kind of thing.
Like cam girls.
Yeah, probably.
He's already got his revenue stream. This could just be a side note, you know? He's done some funny shit. I got to give him that. Like, he is taking the internet by storm. He's made it onto InfoWars already. Fuck it. I'll ask him if he wants to come on my stream and tell me off. Why not? He's accepting it with everybody, right?
Well, I want to see what people have to say about Tate in the chat. Patton is saying Tate equals beta.
No, a lot of people don't like him. But that's part of the game, is adding controversy, right? So I understand what he's doing.
And I think there's something about, like, yeah, this guy has a lot of money, he's made a lot of money, and most people aren't going to be able to do that. Most people are not going to be of the caliber of Andrew Tate or even Jordan Peterson. A lot of people should be happy working a menial job and just finding satisfaction elsewhere within their lives. But I do think that Andrew Tate has something more coherent to offer, at least in the fact that...
Well, the thing is, he's the type of cunt
he
that could
speaks
throw
in
a wrench
normal
into
words.
things.
He speaks in normal words.
Not only that, but he's the type of cunt that will throw a wrench into normal things. Like, he'll speak the truth and say, oh yeah, fuck you, and just give you the straight truth about something, no matter how many feelings it hurts, right? Like, it's his opinion.
Yes.
You may not agree with it or whatnot, but the way he says it is, all right, well, fuck, this is how it is. And
Right.
quite often it hurts people's feelings or whatever it is, but yeah, I fucking enjoy that.
Right.
I didn't like him at first, don't get me wrong, but a lot of people that I love,
I think so too. I didn't like him at first because I thought, oh, alpha male grifter. Okay, yeah. But he really shines through in each debate or interview that he does. He has a good sense of humor of himself, and that's a thing about Jordan Peterson that really bothers me. This guy is absolutely humorless. Like, if you try to troll Jordan Peterson, he will, like, respond to you on his YouTube channel, like in the comments, like, you bloody malevolent, don't you have anything, you bloody malevolent prick, don't you have anything better to do? If you're trolling him on something funny, like his daughter fucking around or something. And then he'll delete it after, and it's like, dude, you're such a...
Okay, you
like,
can't expect an intellectual of his age to fucking be able to understand internet culture as well, right?
Well, you have to get somebody who wants to understand life to be able to know how to deal with people like that. And Andrew Tate is a guy who has that kind of nuance in his head, who can, like, he can navigate a troll. He could translate. I think Jordan Peterson is like a out of touch boomer, or it's just like he's a robot. He's funny to fuck with.
As where Tate takes what he says and fucking puts it in an offensive sentence.
Right. If you tried to say something offensive to Tate, he would own you. He wouldn't be a boomer and like stumble on his words and like make a fool of himself. You know, if you try to provoke him in a way that, like, for example, some guy try to make a gay joke to him or imply that he was gay, and then he just sat there straight faced like, oh, well, I can understand why you guys would think that's funny, but like, you know, I'm you know, he keeps it above level, and he knows how to deal with the troll. Jordan Peterson has no sense of humor, and I feel like his fans have no sense of humor. And they're taking their... Like, life is a fucking joke. Life is a game in a sort of a way. It is serious in that you can't let yourself lose at the game, because when you die, it's game over.
It's part of the game, is showing the absurdities and the rules that we have to abide by.
But you have to have a sense of humor about it. And Jordan Peterson and people who take what he says too seriously don't have a sense of humor. You know, you have to be hyperbolic. You have to be that fucking guy who's like, whoa, I'm the fucking man, and anything you say is stupid. Fuck you. You have to be that guy sometimes. And then you have to have nuance about it at the same time.
Is that the image you're trying to look up to?
I don't
Is
know. I
Tate your
don't
daddy
know.
now?
Yeah, Tate is my new internet daddy. I
So
want
you're gonna take
20
off the plaid
passports.
shirt and you're gonna fucking.
I'm gonna
shave
take
your
off
head.
my shirt and just in general, and
You're just gonna pull a Tate, shave your head, take off your shirt, yeah, that's just how it's going down. Look at this.
I'm gonna shave my head. I'm gonna get a cigar. I only have this Red Bull right now, so
Can you get the song going "Goodbye Horses" by any chance?
do I have to do the Buffalo Bill dance too in order to press
if
you
you're
all?
gonna do a fucking tuck and roll, yes, please.
All right.
Do the Buffalo Bill. Tuck
Well,
and
we're
roll,
both
buddy.
fighters here, Derek. We're both fighters here. Me and you, we're gonna have to throw down one day. We've been promising the people.
You're
We're gonna
right.
fucking.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to throw down. Are you not intimidated by this chest, by these arms, by this fist? No, my fist is way smaller than yours. I remember we were at your place, and then we compared fists, and I was like, oh fuck.
Don't
There's
worry
like
about
a
that,
solid
Edgy. I don't want to listen to this promo unless it's the Goodbye Horses. You better cue up that song and fucking.
Okay.
Give me that
Well,
promo.
I think we've been going for 2 hours and 45 minutes now. We talked about all the things we're going to talk about. Oh, Jordan Peterson is joining Daily Wire Plus. Let's just get this over with quickly. Look at all the programs here. They all look gay as fuck, okay? This is not how we do alternative media. This is like the new thing that he joined, and now he's shilling for Zionists extra hard. It's like, ooh, Jordan B. Peterson podcast, Michael Knowles. What is a Woman? Pretty good documentary, but it's just like, oh, this is the alternative to Netflix? Like a platform that defines itself as, oh, we are the anti-woke.
I think you need to put your shirt on before you call anybody gay as fuck.
Shut up, Derek. What I'm trying to say is that these motherfuckers aren't edgy. They're defining themselves as not woke. Oh, we're so not woke. You know those woke people? We're not that. Netflix, they're woke. We're not that. Oh, wow. So are you gonna fucking say things that I haven't heard before a million times on YouTube with Jordan Peterson and Ben Shapiro? No, you're gonna fucking fall into line with everything that's been done before, and it's gonna be gay and like conservative censored, which is, it's like, no, the real edginess is beyond that scope if you want to go into that, but they're not gonna do that. They're not gonna take any chance. It's gay, cringe, nerd shit here. We have to do this.
An edgelord.
There's no money in being an edgelord, but we gotta make it somehow. We've been talking about this
Treat
earlier.
it like Fight Club, buddy.
It's true.
Do your
It's
day
true.
job and come and do what you love afterwards.
Like, just look at this. Oh, I'm gonna go instead of Netflix. I'm gonna watch PragerU Masters Program. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna watch Adam Carolla's stand-up special. You know how bad that would be? I'm sure. Like, I don't even wanna watch the
I don't
first
know, Adam Carolla's got some pretty good takes. Like
takes, but his stand-up.
I don't know about that.
Oh, it's bad. It's bad. And the
He
oh,
looks like fucking Pete Sampras with Down syndrome.
yeah, it's not looking too good. I think that people like us with our shirts off, like me, like Andrew Tate,
Yeah, you need to take care of that soon.
we've got to be the ones who take it to the next level, because we're the ones who are willing to take our shirts off. We're the ones who are willing to fight, to punch each other in the face, to take it to that next level, to say the things that Jordan Peterson is afraid to say. I can't do that.
Before you do that again, you gotta fucking get a tan because the lighting's not doing any good here, son.
Okay.
I'm not seeing you in the background. Like, I'm not seeing the definition. You need to get the lighting right. Put it up higher so it like comes down on your muscles. Do you know what I mean? Because I know Edgy is a stacked dude, but right now you're just looking like a farmer's tan, homie.
Derek, this is just all stacking up into my internal rage that will go into
Edgy
my
looks
fist.
like, honestly, when you see Edgy with his shirt off in real life, it's not doing him justice here, but he looks like he has midget strength. You know, like how they're fucking really stacked. They walk around like with their little fucking, it's like Edgy, but Edgy's a little bit bigger than that. It's fucking.
Okay, I think it's about time that we shut this down because words are about to exchange between me and Derek, and you guys need not hear any of this, okay? So, thank you all so much for coming in tonight. Thank you, Derek, for randomly coming in and co-hosting for like 2 hours with me. That's fucking hilarious. I wasn't expecting that yet. Yeah. Okay. But we do have to end this off, as you said, with "Goodbye Horses." So, the fucking classic from Q Lazarus. I may or may not go Tucker Carlsoning myself to the song, if you know what I mean. If you've ever seen the movie, if you don't, then sorry for you. But good night, everybody. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. Throw a super chat in Entropy if you want to give me a donation, and I'll make sure that I read it next time.
Only if he does the tuck.
The Tucker Carlson?
Then you turn it around and you give him the bowl of fruit.
Okay, no, I'm not one of Andrew Tate's webcam whores. I do not play that way. I am a Tate myself.
Right now,
Edgy Tate.
Flying in, watch. Entropy, you just start throwing in those donations, and I bet you can get Edgy to stand up and do the fucking
no,
and it'll be acceptable if he identifies as a fucking
as a cat self or a monkey
as a
self,
non-binary incel,
as Travis the chimp. Ooh.
You're bringing it back to Travis.
Yeah, we gotta, like, as a comedian, you gotta all have all these callbacks. You gotta have callbacks. You gotta wrap it up. Only people who watch the whole live stream or podcast will understand that one. But thank you all so much for coming out. I'm just going to see if I missed anything. Al Stern blames pure Canadian. Trish, thanks for coming out. Jay Sems, good to see you, buddy. Trent Dabbs, here to help spread the life. He's saying it got insane at the end. Faynox, Jonathan Ferguson. Hell yeah. All right. Good night, everybody. Goodbye to you and goodbye, horses, okay?
Oh, you better get up and dance, boy.
Oh, it's on fast speed.
Come on, you get up. Do the tuck and roll.
Let's see you do it.
I ain't dancing. I know I'm white.
Yeah, well, I'm not dancing for no one either. Fuck you. All right, I'm gonna put it on
center stage. You better fucking get up there. You took your shirt off. You better perform. You don't get all these young middle-aged men hard for nothing.
Shut the fuck up. Peace out, everybody.
That chimp is waiting. That chimp is waiting to fucking in the corner like Harvey Weinstein. Back and do the tuck, Edgy. You do it. Get back here. Dan, get out there, be a man. Solidify your legacy in the internet world by showing your cock and balls from behind. No, you don't want to show that. You can. But if you do the tuck, just say you're transgender. You get away with whatever the fuck you want, apparently.
I see the rise. Into
dirty fuck. It's getting weird.
I'd fuck you. No, I'd fuck